Partly cloudy and humid with a low of 71 tonight, then partly sunny, very warm and humid, high 90 tomorrow, headed up to 95 with sun and some clouds on Sunday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 76 degrees with sun and clouds right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. How's your family? Do you have a legal plan for them when you're gone? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, nerds and smart people alike. Everybody listens to this show. We are happy to have you with us on a Friday morning. 314-436-7900. Join the show. Call, text, leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app. Watch us streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Find the KMOX news pages. You'll see us there. Or you can follow us on Twitter. Our show account is at Chris Amy KMOX, and you can watch us there too. We have Instagram. Did you know that? At Chris Amy KMOX. Super easy to find.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, primary week has come to an end here, so I think a lot of people are very happy about that. But the bad news is it is general election season. Here we go. And we will talk to St. Louis County Assessor and Democratic candidate for County Executive, Jake Zimmerman. That'll be at 11:30 today.
And it is 2026, which means we are approaching the 25-year anniversary of the 9/11 tragedy, and a steel beam from the World Trade Center is going to be on display at Busch Stadium this weekend. So Tom O'Connor is a retired lieutenant with the New York City Fire Department. We're going to talk to him at 11 about the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, which is bringing the steel beam here.
Cardinals, Rockies tonight. Cardinals are back at it. They are at Busch Stadium. They are back home as they resume their season after taking 2 of 3 in New York. That's right. Chris and Amy Show. By the way, the game tonight is at 7:15 at Busch. We've got the pregame show at 6:20 here on KMOX and 104.1 FM Odyssey app. If you're here in the area, you can listen to the show on the app. Michael Kelly is here with us.
Hey, guys.
We are in missing Hancock formation. So good to have you here, Michael.
Hancock formation. That's so sad.
Yeah.
He's over in Kansas City officiating a wedding. And
He's marrying his nephew.
He's
He's
marrying
marrying
his
his nephew, which was a great line the other day, by the way. Speaking of Kansas City, I talked a bit about this with Pajeski. Are either of you guys Ted Lasso folks?
Love it. Just started this week.
Yeah.
The new season.
And I'm not going to ruin anything by saying this, but the new episode is out, and it's kind of a love letter to Kansas City if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, I remember, I think it was last year or maybe early this year when they were filming in Kansas City. They made a big deal about Ted Lasso being there.
Well, it's a lovely episode, and I was telling Matt this right before you all walked in that it's such a beautiful little happy show, and this is all a love letter to Kansas City. This particular episode, it made me angry as a St. Louisan because I'm just like, ugh, Kansas City getting the spotlight. Of course, everything's going their way, right? They got the Chiefs, they've got Taylor Swift, they've got Big Slick, all that stuff going, and it reminds me of St. Louis when I first moved downtown, in the late 90s, and then 2000 as we were headed towards, we had the Final Four, we had Nelly going on. There was so much going on, and it just reminded me of the glory days of St. Louis.
What we need is an A-list celebrity, and Jason Sudeikis is that.
Totally.
So what we need is John Hamm to come here and film a show. He's got to come here and do something, a movie.
Yeah.
He's got to make it happen.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, but everything was lining up, right? I mean, when these celebrities became the Royals had won the World Series, but more importantly, the Chiefs were in there. Then Taylor Swift takes place over in Kansas City. It seems as though everything just collided kind of
Well,
all at once.
Yeah, we would need John Hamm to film a show here. We would need an NFL team, and we would need Taylor Swift to divorce Travis Kelce and marry like Jordan Walker or something.
What about
Yeah.
me?
That would help.
Didn't she marry me?
Well, you got to make
Walker's
the
got a lady
Cardinals.
friend. You can't be giving him out.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Walker
don't know
away.
who has a lady friend or not, but
That's
okay, the
true.
equivalent. One of our superstars.
My lady friend turned a half a century today. Charlize Theron.
Oh, Theron. Yeah.
Theron.
You better know her name.
I
'cause
call her
she'll-
Theron. Theron is how you
It's
say
Theron,
it?
like I
you
heard
sure?
her.
Heron,
Yes,
like
it's-
Heron the bird.
Yeah, like Heron the bird.
Well, she's
Yep.
50 years old. And Matt says to me this
She
morning
looks
when I
great,
said,
by the way.
He says, doesn't she look great for 50? I said, she looks great for 20.
Yeah.
She does.
I mean,
She
she's
does.
just the...
She was in The Odyssey.
I've not seen it.
Okay. Well,
Have
she's
you?
in
Are
it.
you going
Yes.
to see it?
I am, but I was telling Matt the conflict that you have is everybody says, oh, you need to see it at IMAX. So I went on this week because now that the elections are over, I had some time. Well, it's sold out completely. There's only really one IMAX in St. Louis down at Ronnie's. And I was like, is it a waste to go to a regular theater? And Matt's like, just go to a regular theater and see it.
I would see it in a theater. I think if you can, the best format would be to do IMAX. But if you don't have it, you don't need to. It's
Right.
fine. It is really good though.
Is it?
I tried to do and I told Amy about it. I told everybody about the IMAX 70 millimeter, which is
Okay.
the film IMAX, and they say that is the optimal way to see it.
Okay.
Like the absolute best format. And there's only one. They've got a theater in Indiana, and there's one in the Chicago suburbs. So when I was up there a couple of weeks ago, I thought, you know what? Maybe on the way home or on the way up, I'll catch it.
Right.
And they were showing it, and I think they still are 24 hours a day. And the only time was like 2:30, and it was one of those seats right up front. No, it was a handicap seat. It was a
Right.
and I'm like, well, I can't have that, and I don't want to get out of a movie at 5 a.m.
No. That's
so
weird.
I didn't go do it.
Yeah. It's like Pee Wee Herman stuff.
Yeah, when you say 2:30, you're talking about 2:30 in the morning.
a.m.
Yeah.
a.m. Yes, so I would have gotten out at 5.
Now, so you have seen it, though?
Yes, 5:30.
And did the 3 hours go by quickly, or were you checking your watch halfway through?
I never checked my watch. I mean, you could. It's long, but I mean, I felt invested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked
Because
it.
even like a 35-minute, well, Ted Lasso, I think the most recent episode was 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I found
They're always
myself
short.
last night hitting the button halfway through, like how much more time do I have in this?
So what's funny about that is Bill Simmons, who is a sports writer, now he's got the podcast. He's been around a long time.
Right.
When he was doing his, I think it was called Page 2 on ESPN, he had a column every week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of doing a lot of pop culture stuff. It's how he built a name for himself. And he came up with this thing, and I was like, when he mentioned it, I go, oh my God, I do the same thing. You know how when you used to have a VCR?
Yeah.
And there's a clock on the VCR, and he would call it, I think it was like a VCR clock show or something like that. And it was a show that is so good that you look at the time hoping that it's not close to the end of the show.
Yeah,
Right.
I know exactly that feeling.
Yes.
So like you know a show is on at 7:00 and it lasts an hour, and you're like, this is so good right now, and then you stare down at the clock and it says 7:45. You're like,
Right.
damn it, it's almost over.
Right.
And that is
That's
how
a
I feel
great-
about Ted Lasso.
Yes.
That's
You're
such
touching
a-
it like, how much more time's left? And
Yeah.
then you see there's only 12 minutes left. You're like,
Right. I want
Couldn't
there
we
to be
have more?
Yes, that's exactly how I
Yes.
feel about that show.
I love that analogy or metaphor of a VCR show.
'Cause I used to do
I
it.
used to do that. Do you want to know what show I used to do that with when I was a kid?
Angela Lansbury something. or
Pretty
whatever.
close. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
oh, Amy.
I loved that show as a kid. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. I was like 10 years old, 8 years old. The
My
best
Lord.
show.
I was expecting it to be that Michael Landon show, Highway to Heaven.
Highway to Heaven.
No, I watched
That's right.
the other Michael Landon show, Bonanza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Which
sitting
is
at a
older than Highway to Heaven.
I was sitting at a bar last week with some of my older golfing buddies, and they were talking, and the guy goes, "Man, I got to get home. I watch Murder, She Wrote every night."
Oh my God.
I had not heard of Murder, She Wrote in probably 30 years of my life, and I was like, and I know this is probably a comedy bit that somebody else has done, but I mean, Can you imagine that Angela Lansbury shows up at your house? Somebody's going to die. Every week, somebody would die
They
with
lived in
Angela
the
Lansbury.
equivalent of Martha's Vineyard in Cabot Cove, which was Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
And somebody died every week
Just around that woman.
around that woman. And
Yeah,
around
she's like
that,
the Grim Reaper.
around that little. Imagine if in you know what? That could have been the inspiration for Widow's Bay, because it's basically Martha's Vineyard where horrible things are happening.
Right.
That was Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
That was literally Murder, She Wrote. People were just dying left and right in Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
I never watched that show.
Widow's Bay or the other one?
The Widow's Bay I did watch.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Okay, here's another one. Since we're having old Sunday night TV shows, do you guys remember there's a guy from St. Louis named Scott Bakula?
Of course.
And he was on some
Quantum
time
Leap.
traveling.
Leap?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved that show.
I wish somebody'd bring that back.
They
that
did,
was a
and
great
it
show.
sucks.
Really?
They did. They brought it back a few years ago, and it's not even close. It's just like Night Court. They tried to bring back
Yeah,
Night
you
Court,
can't do it.
and just bad.
Do you
It just-
think-
they had the lady from what's the show with all the nerds on it? The
Big Bang?
How I Met
Big
Your
Bang
Mother?
Theory.
Oh, okay.
One of the women, she was a girlfriend of somebody on that show. She's a judge, and I think she's Harry's daughter. And John Larroquette's still in it.
Right.
Like, I think
How
the
old is
only.
he?
Oh man, he must be 70.
Yeah, at least.
But he's the only original cast member.
What about, do you think a remake of Ferris Bueller's Day Off to present day would work?
I think it'd be really hard to skip school now like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
And
but it
go,
would be kind of interesting to see how
your
they
parents
did it.
know your location. They could check your phone like,
Yeah.
he's not at school right now. What's he doing? Better go find him.
It was such a great movie. And I often, wind up watching it, and I'm like, man, kids need to have a redone version of this.
Really? I feel like Leave Well Enough Alone, when it's such a great movie and it's a classic and it's also a product of its time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes with remakes, all it does is it gives you a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth for something that otherwise would have been pristine.
That movie made me think that Chicago was cool. I hadn't been to Chicago when I first saw that movie as a kid. And so I was like, oh my God, that's a city I want to go to, right? I guess like maybe what's happening with Ted Lasso in Kansas City right now. I was like, man, I can't wait to go to Chicago and see the river go green and, all the things that happen there. I loved Chicago. Is that what inspired you to go to Chicago? Raj?
Ferris Bueller?
Yeah,
No,
Ferris.
I had a lot of friends from college that were from up there, and we used to go up a lot, and it's an awesome city.
It's the best. Everything New York is without being New York.
But I like New York, too.
Of course, New York's great, but you
I
can't
like
escape it. The nice thing about Chicago is you're in the heart of
That's a good point.
a big city, but you get in a car or you get on a train, and in 45 minutes, you can be on a golf course. In 45 minutes in New York, you're about 6 blocks from where you started.
You know what? That's a really good point, because good friends in New York or now family members who, have lived in Manhattan for 20, 30 years. And they all say the same thing, which is like, New York is awesome, but it's hard to live there. It's hard to live like in Manhattan. And the 10-year mark is the mark that either breaks you and you get out, or you decide you're going to stay longer. But to get out of New York, you are exactly right. You can't. You can't get out unless it's like a weekend and you're going upstate. It just takes so long to get space. But in Chicago, you could feel like you're in the middle of nowhere in 30 minutes.
Yeah, you can get
That's
to
a great point.
And for me, it was golf. My buddies, when we would go up there who lived in downtown, we would be able to get in a car and be out golfing somewhere. And you went from this mega metropolis to, the suburbs of St. Louis.
I have to tell you, one of the things about New York I like is that you can get lost there.
Yeah.
And that you can't get out of it.
You don't think you can
Yes,
get
I
lost
like
in
that.
Chicago?
You just like bopping into places?
I like that you can walk for hours and you're still in the city.
Right.
Is Chicago not like that? Sorry, in
You
my
can
head,
get. I mean,
Chicago
you can get. Well,
kind of like
you
that.
can get away from downtown pretty quickly, but if you're in Manhattan, it takes forever. It
Yeah.
feels
You
like.
just can't get anywhere.
Michael Kelly is with us. We've got no John Hancock today, but he's with us for the first hour. We do want to talk about the election. We have other questions to ask of our guy, Michael Kelly. Some relationship questions
Hey, now.
we have for him.
Ooh, I'm a master of those.
Yes, you are. It's Chris and Amy show
in
with
good company here.
Michael Kelly. A bunch of single people
Oh my gosh, this
Us
whole
giving
room.
relationship
This
advice.
whole room.
on KMOX.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
Every week on the Moth Podcast, you'll hear true stories that will intrigue you, inspire you, and make you laugh.
He said, is there anything in your diet that might be spiking your blood sugar? I said, sometimes I eat pizza until I'm unconscious. He said, I think that might be it.
For real stories live on stage from comedians, astronauts, accountants, farmers, and people just like you, follow and listen to The Moth wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Hey guys, this is Kevin Wheeler, and I want to tell you about FanDuel Sportsbook, which, by the way, is the official sportsbook of KMOX. And today, specifically, I want to talk to baseball fans. And look, being here on KMOX, we got a lot of baseball fans listening, and you follow very closely. So if you think you know who might hit a home run today, then FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. Look, joining the action super easy. You just make your free pick on who you think's going to hit a home run in their game, and if you're right, you get a profit boost that you get to use on your next bet. You've got a lot to gain. Look, I play Daily Dingers every single day. And when I'm right, I put that profit boost to use. And it's been a big kick in the pants for me here during baseball season. So don't forget, you can do this every single day, which is what I do. And it's just another reason why FanDuel is the home for home runs. So if you're ready to play your game today, just join the action at FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. You get to play Daily Dingers. You get to make your free pick on who you think is going to hit a home run every single day. So play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball.
Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost covered the 3 key pillars of retirement planning: income, risk, and your tax strategy. Join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement, every Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on KMOX.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Chris and Amy, 9 to noon on KMOX every weekday. We've got Hancock and Kelly's second half.
Yeah.
Are you the better half? Are you the better half?
Of course I am.
Michael Kelly is here. John Hancock is not. We are. We always experience these two on Friday mornings at 9.
They are an experience.
Sounds like I'm the relationship expert half of the Hancock and Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of are. Well, and we're going to get to that. We've got some questions for you.
We are going to get to that. And we do opine. All of us.
Uh-huh.
You and I have opined on relationships. We've all opined. Do you think people driving around married with kids are thinking, why the heck are these people on the radio talking about relationships.
Can I tell you what I think they think?
Yes.
I think they're jealous of us. No, seriously, I don't know if you run into this, and I don't want to expose people like family members or friends, but the amount of people that would, but the amount of people who come up to me and like, listen, God forbid something happened to my spouse. I want to be like you. Don't you hear that from people? Like they want to be single. They want to have the life where they can go, out to Colorado and hike, or they can go to Chicago for the weekend and they have no responsibility.
I hear two things.
Yeah.
I hear that kind of thing,
Right.
like the man. You're really,
you're living
that
the life.
That's one, and the other thing I never hear is you're not married. Oh man, you should do it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
never heard one person say that.
I wonder if it's
Never
different
once.
for women, because I'm at an age now where I think people don't know what to say. I was running. I'd met some new guys that I was running with, and like all of I feel like they're all like having kids for the first time, but
Right.
they're married or they do have kids. So people are introducing themselves and they're running and talking and the conversation's going and like, Amy, how are you? You have kids? I'm like, no. And like, are you married? I'm like, no. And they're like, oh. they just stops. The whole conversation stops. Like they don't know what they're supposed to do.
Huh.
And I think maybe
Well,
it is
let me-
different with women.
I think they're probably secretly seething, like, man,
Totally.
she's living the life.
Can you live the life?
But
She's
they
living the
can't
life.
say that. They
No,
can't tell you
I
they
don't
feel
think
that
so.
way.
No.
I think maybe they're more. I think with women, I think sometimes people are a little bit more sensitive.
When I run
Women
in-
have a clock that men don't have, so I
True.
do think that plays a part in it.
When I run into women that maybe I've dated or hung out with in the past, their line usually to me is, "So, are you still Peter Pan?" Not wanting to grow up. I'm like, "Yep, yep. How you doing?"
Isn't it great?
I just tell people I'm on like an extended, what is it, a Rumspringa, and I'm like, I'm going back to the Amish community eventually.
He's on an extended rump shaker. This guy over here.
rump shaker.
Hey, listen, don't be acting like it's me only.
Yeah,
I don't
you're-
think you've ever been tied down yet.
Those who
You've
live in-
presided over more weddings.
Yeah, those who live in glass houses.
That's true. I've presided over more than
I bet every time you preside over a wedding, you're like, "Oh, that's 6 more months. I ain't doing this."
Yeah. Oh,
Matt, you are part of this group.
No, I'm not.
No, do not let us rub off on you.
I don't identify
unless
with
you
this
want to
group.
have insane amounts of fun.
Yeah.
No
he went on a date
responsibility.
last night.
Okay.
Whoa! Hey now.
Election results are in.
Where'd you go to dinner?
Huh?
You go to dinner?
I did.
Where'd you go?
I went on the hill.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Did you go
Favaz's.
I watched.
Favaz's.
I watched.
Ron
You were
showed
there?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there.
You just happened to be there?
No, I knew.
Oh,
I knew where it was going
nice.
to be, and I observed
He was looking behind a menu. Just,
the whole time.
Yeah.
He,
Like, sir, are you going to order something? Like, no.
Yeah, you know what Ron was doing? He was doing what Michael and I were doing when we went to a concert and Matt was there with a lady friend
Yeah.
and we were the chaperones somehow.
Well, I felt like a third wheel that night. So we had all talked. We'd been on the radio like this. Chris was up visiting his family in Chicago. And Matt said, "Hey, I'm going over to the whatever it was, pageant."
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I was like, "I haven't got anything going on. I'll come join you." And Amy's like, "I'm going to be there." So we all meet up there. And then Matt's got a gal pal with him.
Yeah.
So it's like super awkward
So
because like
Michael and I are sitting
Yes.
directly behind them.
and we're like sitting there and I was like, "Amy, we got to get out of here. This is like creepy." Like
I
we're
like having you guys there.
We were
Well, that's because we were
hovering.
going to pay.
You're right.
I wish I would have been there. Don't you wish I would have been?
No.
Ron,
Come on, Pajeski.
Michael and I were hovering over the
Yeah.
shoulder of Matt and this girl, and Michael's like, "We've got to go.
Yeah, we
this
had
is
to go.
weird."
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd have poked my head in. How you guys doing?
Hey guys,
Yeah.
how's it going? How's
You having
it
a good
going?
time?
Leave room
Can
for
I help?
Jesus.
Can I help? Is there
You
anything I
have
can do
room
to
for
help this
Jesus
along?
and Michael and Amy.
Yeah.
So when you go to the Hill, I would assume this isn't, a relatively new relationship or something like that, somebody that you hung out with. But how do you deal with the garlic? Are you worried about eating garlic on the Hill?
You know what? You got to order something garlic free. You know,
Uh-huh.
I get a little fettuccine Alfredo, but it's not too heavy on garlic.
You
so
don't think?
I do fine. But here's what I do: always have mince on your person, in the car. You got to be prepared.
Oh, yeah. Like, remember having Binaco when you were in high school?
No, I don't know what that is.
You guys know what Binaco is?
I know what it is. It's like a spray.
Yeah, like when you were in high school, you'd have a Binaco?
No, I'm not that much younger than you. How do you have these things that I didn't?
How? Because I don't know. I was
You grew up in
obsessed with
St.
one
Charles.
thing.
I think Binaco was big in St. Charles.
Big
Yeah.
oh, yeah, there's a big St. Charles market.
I
Big
guess.
Binaco market.
Binaco.
Yeah. They used to target St. Charles.
That natural light.
Yeah, they did. They love it.
Big Binaco
They knew where to
sounds
go.
bad.
Like, which part of the city? Oh, we better go out to St.
What
Charles.
a creeper. I had my Polo Cologne and my Binaco.
Matt,
Wait,
did
the
you?
green bottle polo?
Yes.
Oh my God, you smell like your
What a
grandpa's
dude.
grandpa.
Yeah, what a dude.
I like the way that
That
smells.
stuff I do too.
I actually really
yeah.
like the way that smells.
Polo?
The green
Smells
bottle.
like grandpa?
Yeah, Dad,
Smells like
Grandpa,
older man.
Yeah,
I like
Yeah.
Brute.
You know what it
Brute's a
sounds
good
like?
smell.
Smells like stability and a good 9 to 5. That's
All
what
right,
it smells
I got
like.
a quick a perfume or cologne
Brute. That's
story.
what I was thinking
Brute.
of.
Brute's good, yeah.
I think I was thinking of Brute.
One of my first like grown up pick up a gal relationships. You know what I mean? Like not somebody I knew forever. And when I'm with her, she's talking about this cologne called Aventurus. or
Aventus.
Aventus.
It's from Creed.
Yes, from
Aventus.
Creed. So
Isn't that
she
a
very
says to me,
expensive.
soccer team?
"Oh,
It's very expensive.
Well, let me
yeah.
tell you,
It's like $400
yes.
a bottle.
So she says
Yeah.
to me, "Oh man, I love this Aventus, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, where do they sell that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's at Saks Fifth Avenue. Never even been there." So I
That's
go to
where all the
Saks Fifth
expensive stuff
Avenue,
is.
and I said, "She happens to be with me." I was like, "Hey, looking for the Aventus," and the lady I said, "Ah, let's take a small bottle," and they bring it out. Now I'm in front of this girl. And like you said, Chris, it's ridiculous cost. It's like $400. I haven't got $400.
Yes, you
So
do.
I'm like, no, this is in my 20s.
Oh, this is back in the-
Yeah, this is like 24, 25 years
That
old.
wasn't the Michael Kelly swimming in it days?
Right. And
All
so
right.
I'm like, oh my gosh. So I buy this cologne.
Yeah.
And I'm like on my credit card. And I mean, it's the largest purchase I've ever made, you know? And so I go out with this gal. I don't dare open it. And then the next day I'm at Saks Fifth Avenue trying to return it because I didn't want to look like a
Yeah.
complete tool in front of
Yeah.
this gal. But I have never understood something being
You should have
that
kept- it's really good.
expensive.
It's
Yeah,
really
I
good.
couldn't afford it, dude.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been able to put
This
gas
was
in my
20
tank.
years ago?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, man. That stuff's really good. And it is very expensive. That whole line is.
Why?
Who makes it? What's the brand?
It's called Creed. It's French.
Creed? Oh,
Yeah,
never
it's
heard of
popular.
I know too much
And it
about
has a
cologne.
Good smell. You
He
do?
knows a lot about
And actually, it's
cologne.
called fragrance.
El de Toilette.
It's called
called
perfume.
fragrance.
He's a big perfume guy.
Really?
I
He
promise at some point we'll get to election stuff if you
All
want.
right, I'm ready for election stuff.
Well,
And then we
didn't
get
ask
to
the
the
love question.
We'll get to all
I've
of it.
sidetracked you enough.
We'll
Can
get
you
to all
stay
of it.
longer?
Of course.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Some shows are about sports. Some shows are about nothing. This one's kind of both.
So the show's not really a sports show per se, it's just a show. Glover here, we talk about whatever's happening, life, work, random stuff. And yeah, the Cardinals always find their way in. I'm a lifelong fan, love going to the games, love supporting the team, and love hanging out with you guys.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Don't let garage door problems bench your summer plans. From repairs, tune-ups, and replacements, Renner Garage Door hits a grand slam every time. Score a free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
75 degrees. It's a bit more humid, real feel. 90 intervals of bright sunshine. Thunderstorm in the area, perhaps a high of 90. Tonight, partly cloudy. Humid, a low of 70.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Why pay full insurance when you can customize and save? Switch to Liberty Mutual and they'll customize your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Nobody plans on being in a serious accident, but if it happens to you, you want a law firm that's been fighting for people in our community for decades. That's Cantor Injury Law. Call 314-628-9999 or visit CantorInjuryLaw.com. Injured, you can count on Cantor.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertisements.
Homeowners, I know a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling, and that's leaving money on the table. Hey, this is Kevin Wheeler. I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So, Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure that they get top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my buyers in waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. That's why you call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
A texter into the show, a couple of them actually. One of them says that Ronnie's Theater that you mentioned, they believe is showing that Odyssey in 70 millimeter IMAX. I don't think they are. I think they have. They say for the next week they're showing it. I need to look more into this, but if you look at show times for the Odyssey, they only have 70 millimeter or IMAX. They don't have the IMAX 70 millimeter. They're three different things. So unless there's something I don't know,
hard
that's
to believe
the story.
that would be the case.
Yeah, I mean, how could I? Also, this one says, going on 43 years of marriage, and if I had a chance to do it over again, I'd be in the priesthood.
Terrible.
See what I'm talking
Come on. That's not true.
See what I'm talking about?
That's a dad joke.
I don't think so.
Or a
That's
father joke.
That is exactly the kind of person I talk to.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Who says, oh, you're not married? Oh, man, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't hear
Male
that.
and female.
I hear it all
It's
the time.
not just dudes like, oh, I hear it from women too. Like,
Mine is, one day, like, don't give up hope
right,
like that.
right.
Mine is all like, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Mine's
times.
Me in misery as well.
Before we move on to important matters, I think what it is for a lot of people, not everybody, but I think for a lot of people, when they encourage you like that, when they say, oh, you'll find the right person someday, don't worry. Or they sell the idea of marriage to you.
They sell
I think it is, I want this person to be as miserable as I am.
Get in the same boat here. Let's go.
You come in, and I'll feel a whole lot better about my situation that you finally
I've
joined
seen
in.
some pretty stellar examples of marriage that, like my parents, I think have ruined it for me because it's so perfect.
Right.
Like they're so
Ward and June.
Yes, they're so happy. They're more in love than ever. Like even my friends are like, your parents are very affectionate. They've been married 48 years.
Yeah. I'm
like, I know. And I always say that they ruined it. I'm like, how do you set a standard like that?
Exactly.
Michael,
yes,
it
sir.
has been primary week and it's over. So we've got the post election kind of period where we're assessing what happened and what's going to happen now. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, Jake Zimmerman, who is the Democratic candidate for county executive, he will be on with us at 11:30. But just now that you've had a few days to look back at what happened on Tuesday, does anything really stand out to you?
Impressive win by Wesley Bell. If you remember that Cori Bush had said when she got defeated the first time, I'm coming back. I'm going to tear down this AIPAC house and, expose Wesley Bell. Well, that didn't happen. So I think maybe the Cori Bush reign or opportunity in politics has come to an end. I was extremely pleased to see that St. Charles really chose to stick with stable governing as opposed to kind of going to the destructive MAGA thought process in the Republican primary by reelecting Steve Ellman and really not going down the Bill Eigel hole, which had been proven in years previous of the way he behaved in the Missouri legislature of really just being a rabble-rouser and a naysayer and trying to blow things up. And then I got to tell you, you're going to have Jake Zimmerman on. I think he probably ran the best and most effective campaign in the region this most recent cycle. He essentially was going up against Brian Williams, who 7 or 8 months ago was truly the front runner. He had all the institutional support. He had all the money. He really is a suave, debonair type candidate who just fizzled, did not run a strategically smart campaign, and Jake Zimmerman did. And so those were the three takeaways that I have of the election was that the progressives in the Cori Bush had a bad night. I was pleased to see that St. Charles didn't go completely wacky and chose to stick with stable leadership. And I was overwhelmingly impressed by the campaign that Jake Zimmerman ran.
I want to get to that campaign, the Jake Zimmerman campaign, but before we do, we did speak with Steve Ellman in St. Charles County yesterday, and we played the clip of you talking about how that was a very important race, like one of the biggest races as far as determining the trajectory of St. Charles. Are they going to go more extreme or just, focus on real issues at hand that affect the people in St. Charles? And I was just talking to friends who normally wouldn't vote in the primaries, who they were voting to vote against Bill Eigel because they didn't want the craziness in St. Charles. They were motivated by fatigue from the craziness that surrounds a Bill Eigel.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I mean, there's almost 500,000 people now in St. Charles County. I mean, St. Charles I grew up in St. Charles. People used to make fun of us. We were the backwards part of the region. Right now, we're
the Nashville of the region.
Right now, it's the most stable part of the region, and it is a credit to Steve Ellman over those 20 years as things have come in. Steve's no liberal. I mean, this is an extreme conservative. I mean, he's a true principled conservative. But what I appreciated about Steve Ellman throughout his 20 years and why I thought he was the best person to lead St. Charles again was as he realizes we're all tied together. You can't be isolationist. What's happening in this city and now what's happening in that county, in St. Louis County, is really affecting the entire region. And if we had the largest or the fastest growing county suddenly opting out of the region and taking this isolationist approach that Bill Eigel was trying to take, I think it would have further spiraled the region. And I think that Steve brings stable leadership, not only to St. Charles, but more importantly, to the entire region as we try to find a way to turn things around for St. Louis, which I am confident will happen eventually.
I hope so too. I mean, all of us do. We either live here, live adjacent to it, and it's kind of insane to not want the city to do well. And I think it's also, I don't know how to say this, but I believe that we all need to really come together on this as an entire region and not just do this thing where we look from the outside if you live in the county or you live in St. Charles or, Jefferson County and go, oh, St. Louis, ew, fix your problem, St. Louis. Like we all should be in on the solution here.
Yeah, and Chris, I feel like there is an understanding now throughout the region that we're kind of all tied together. I think people look at a lot of if they're out in St. Charles County, they look at their neighbors who maybe used to work at some of the businesses, Centene or something, Emerson, that are no longer here and are thinking, oh, I get what everybody's saying. We're tied to this together. That river doesn't protect me from everything. It's not just going down and watching the ball game and going to the free zoo. Mm-hmm. We're all tied together. And I think there's a general recognition, and I think also people are living with the real-life consequences of what's happening. It's happened in my own family. Younger people aren't sticking around here. It's just a fact. They're going to Kansas City. They're going to Chicago. They're going to Nashville. And if we want to have a region where your kids want to stick around, that's what it's going to take. And I think that there is a growing understanding, and for that matter on both sides of the river, that we have to be able to compete as a region, and it's no longer that's a city problem. No, it's all of our problem.
Yep.
And not to put too fine a point on it as we move on here, but Steve Ellman gave a great example of a company that wanted to build in Warrenton and decided not to because the owner, and specifically the owner's kids who are part of the company, said St. Louis is dangerous.
Yep.
Warrenton, that's so far. And he said that's because St. Charles, Warrenton, we are St. Louis. Mm-hmm. We are St. Louis, full stop. And so you have to make sure your city is thriving.
Well, think about it this way. When you go, if you live in St. Charles, you're from there, and you go to some other state and somebody asks you where you're from, you're not saying you're from St. Charles. You say I'm from St. Louis.
Or Chesterfield. Or Ladue, or
and if you're
Fenton.
from Chesterfield, you say I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah, if you
That's
say
what
St.
everybody
Louis.
says.
Okay, speaking of St. Louis County assessor and now the Democratic candidate for St. Louis County executive, you said Jake Zimmerman ran a great campaign. Why do you say that?
Well, the entire campaign was fought on his terms. I mean, if you think about some of the main messages that were in that campaign, he accused Brian Williams of being MAGA, which is kind of laughable if you think about it, an African-American Democratic politician with 15 years of experience being considered MAGA. Far from it. Two, he also had him on the run as it related to abortion. Brian Williams is a pro-choice candidate, has been a stalwart fighter for. So what I'm saying is that the entire narrative of the campaign was fought on Jake Zimmerman's terms about the issues that Jake Zimmerman defined Brian Williams on. And the reality is if we went back 9 months ago, Brian Williams had the money, he had the name ID, he had the smoothness, he had a lot of the support, a lot of the media attention, and he went silent. He went absent, and Jake filled that void. And so by the time Brian Williams re-engaged in the campaign, which to my perspective was about 10 days before Election Day, it was too late. He was defined on those issues. I know a lot of progressive folks in the central part of the county who were like, can you believe this Brian Williams is a MAGA guy? I mean, it's really laughable if you think about it, but it speaks to the quality of the campaign that Jake Zimmerman ran. Now, a lot of people may not like that's what Jake Zimmerman defined Brian Williams on, and that it could have been somewhat deceptive. Well, welcome to the NFL. This is politics. It's not tiddlywinks.
Could Brian Williams have done the same thing? Could he have said Jake
He
Zimmerman's
should have.
MAGA?
Well, if I were Brian Williams and I were running a campaign for 3 or 4 months ahead of this, I would have been talking about property taxes going up in St. Louis County. Jake Zimmerman is the assessor of St. Louis County. We had 20 to 30% increases in property taxes and home assessments. And that's what Brian Williams should have been directing the narrative of the campaign on. But he got caught flat-footed because I think he bought into his own stuff 9 months ago. And really kudos to Jake Zimmerman for running an effective campaign. And he won that race, and Brian Williams lost it for himself.
Zimmerman will be on the show again at 11:30. Chris and Amy, we are with you until 12. Michael Kelly's going to hang out with us a little bit longer. He's here on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm in the air conditioning business. I don't advertise that much. I was leaving a customer's home and I was out in Illinois, and then as I was driving away, my fan for my air conditioner went out. I had to cross back over into St. Louis where there was bridge construction, so massive rush hour, backed up traffic, windows down, sweating. I had to take it straight to the dealership to drop it off because there's no way I can function, much less work, without air conditioning in my truck. And I'm the same way in my house, and every homeowner, not every homeowner, but most homeowners are the exact same way. So if you're experiencing difficulties with your air conditioner, meaning you have none, call me, Bart Inman, and it's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, Missouri and Illinois. Call me. God bless.
St. Louis, are you ready to rock? AC/DC is bringing the Power Up Tour to the Dome at America Center Tuesday, September 8th. Hear legendary hits like Back in Black, Thunderstruck, and Highway to Hell, performed live by one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Don't wait on tickets. They're still available at Ticketmaster.com. AC/DC, the Power Up Tour, Tuesday, September 8th. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are talking to Dr. Premal Thacker.
So we're trying to actually educate our general surgeons if you're getting a hernia repair or a gallbladder out and a woman is done with childbearing, even if they don't have an elevated risk for the development of ovarian cancer, to really get those fallopian tubes out. So we're on a mission to try to prevent ovarian cancer.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They're in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
I love you, I love you, I love you!
Hip, hip.
All right, Michael, since you're a relationship guy, we're going to
We
get
brought
back to
in the
that.
big gun. We brought in the big gun.
Yeah. We couldn't ask John this question.
No,
He
let's
would
dig deep
know.
here.
Got to talk to Michael Kelly. He's had all kinds of experiences,
Yeah.
both good and bad.
Totally.
And you're going to have to obviously reset the table for Michael and all of our listeners.
So I got a pal who was, and I don't know what's going on. He seeing a lady.
Okay.
And I know both of them. I know both of them really well. And he's been, just really all locked up over this person because he likes her, and she's kind of been, arm's length sort of thing, right? And so he had confessed to her recently in person that he loved her.
Okay.
And he said, I love you, right?
Uh-huh.
And she must have had like a ooh kind of reaction in person. They've known each other for a while too,
Right.
months and months and months. And then the other day, he said it again via text. It was a long text. It was like she's very skeptical, I guess, or she's pretending to be skeptical. And the other day, he said it again over text, like, I mean this, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm saying this because I mean it. It was a long text. He showed me the screenshot.
Right.
She replied. Her only reply was, okay.
Yeah.
That's all she said.
No.
Yikes.
No, that's not good.
What the hell, dude?
Well, she's not interested.
Ron almost threw his phone.
I almost threw my phone. It made me mad. I was like, you've got to be blanking kidding me. That's the response?
Right.
Grow up.
Yeah. How old are these people generally? In 30 to 50, somewhere in there?
Yeah, like he's mid to late 30s and she's early to mid 30s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sucks. It's got to hurt. Little ego bruising.
They're still hanging out, though.
Yeah, but it saved him a lot. Well, I mean, so here's the deal. He's got to knock that off. He's got to pretend like he's not interested in her anymore.
See, I agree with you.
And kind of just like hanging out, have a great time when we're out there, and make her have to chase him.
Well, it sounds like
because
she's using him until something better comes along.
True.
That's why she's not committing. Like, I don't want to be alone, so I'll you're fine until something better comes along.
Yeah, and he's got to have a couple of times where she wants to do something where he's unavailable. Oh, I'm going with Chris Ranji to, the Blues game tonight. I'm going to be able to work with some gals. Well, sorry, blah, blah, blah.
That's what I told him.
And that's how it will either flush itself out where she's going to get straight, or he can realize, whoo, she did me a favor.
He had an opportunity to do, he lives in Chicago, so he had told me the day before that he could have gone to the Cubs game during the day, and he was supposed to hang out with her later.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm thinking about just going to the game. I'm like, yes,
Do
that's
it.
what you should do. Go to the game.
Yeah, get drunk.
He
And
didn't
then be
do that.
busy.
Oh,
He didn't do that.
No.
Hung out with her all day.
No, can't do that.
Yeah, he's a real coward.
I'm sorry about that. And that sucks because
He's a real coward.
It's ego. It's his, and not ego in the sense that he wants everybody else. It's his own personal pride that's kind of hurt here in this process.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
he's got to push back.
Yeah.
Without letting her know that it's like killing him.
That's
and
right.
Then he'll get the real outcome, whether or not they're supposed to be together or she did him a giant favor. But if you're getting okay. Yeah, you got the Heisman there.
I
Move on.
almost drove up to Chicago, walked into his house, took his phone and threw it in the toilet.
Yeah. Well,
and then I was going to close the door and leave and come right back down to St. Louis.
She just should have said to him, hey, lose my number.
Yeah, lose my number.
Yeah. But
I'm sick of
He
this
should
crap.
lose her number.
You should delete his number
You
from
should
her
delete
phone.
it.
From his phone.
I might delete his number so that I think I'm going to block him.
There you go.
Okay.
I love you guys.
We love you, Michael.
What are you going to go do now that your buddy's gone?
Isn't it wonderful? Like I'm going to go out and excercise in this before
Michael
it gets
feels
stupid
single.
hot.
Michael
Yeah.
feels single now.
He doesn't have to have Hancock all over him today.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
The old battle axe.
Okay.
That's Michael Kelly. We will talk to Sarah Fensky from St. Louis Magazine when we come back on KMOX.
The cookie cutter approach works well if you're making cookies, but not so well when you're trying to plan for retirement. If you want a customized income strategy, call Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group today. 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Looking for something new? Lombardo Homes is excited to introduce 2 brand new opportunities in St. Charles County. Discover Crooked Creek at Cottleville Trails, featuring stylish new townhomes from the high 300s and access to incredible amenities that make Cottleville Trails one of the area's most sought-after communities. Or find the space you've been dreaming of at South Point Estates, where expansive 3+ acre home sites and top-rated Wentzville schools create the perfect setting for your custom dream home. Visit LombardoHomes.com to learn more about these exciting new communities.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock and it is mostly cloudy, 78 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. An appeals court has ordered a halt to construction of Donald Trump's White House ballroom, ruling that Trump must seek approval first from Congress. That is breaking news in the past few minutes. We'll have more on that story for you soon. Missouri is now included in the list of states impacted by cyclosporiasis. Cases of people impacted has reached almost 1,100. That's up from 43 cases in mid-July. Dr. Taylor Nelson of MU Healthcare says cases are leveling off in Michigan, one of the worst hit states, and that could be good news for Missouri.
And so I would be hopeful, now we're several weeks out from the recall, that we would start to see a decline, and I guess in a state where you're seeing a lot of cases, that would be really hopefully indicative of seeing a peak and a decline sort of follow along in other states.
The symptoms of the parasite are stomach discomfort, watery diarrhea for prolonged periods, and dehydration. The recalled Taylor Farms lettuce came to Missouri through Walmart, Taco Bell, and food service distributors.
U.S. employers unexpectedly cut 23,000 jobs last month, and Labor Department revisions shaved 103,000 jobs off payrolls in May and June. But the unemployment rate still dipped to 4.1%, with Americans leaving the job market. The June job numbers mark a sharp reversal for the American labor market. Hiring was rebounding this year after a lackluster 2025. Some businesses are having trouble filling vacancies. Others are using technology to do the work humans used to do. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The loss of 23,000 jobs in July is the opposite of what analysts expected. KPMG chief economist Diane Swonk said the only industry fueling major economic growth right now in the U.S. is AI.
the biggest risk of a recession is if we were to have a big pullback in the AI boom. Not only would that hit wealth effects, but it would also hit the primary sector holding up growth in the U.S. economy. That's the risk when you have sort of one stool holding you up.
Speaking of AI, St. Louis County is planning to hold a public hearing Monday to discuss data center regulations. One proposed regulation includes requiring data centers using more than 10 megawatts of power to only build in industrial areas or areas designed for large-scale businesses. The county council will have the final say on which regulations are adopted. More than 300,000 were either fired or opted to leave across all corners of federal government thanks to Elon Musk and Doge. But a new government report finds that Doge vastly inflated how much money it saved taxpayers. In one example, DOJ couldn't provide information for 96% of the purported savings from canceled federal contracts. More than 2,500 of the contracts Doge touted as having canceled were never truly terminated, but Doge still upended the lives of federal workers.
Humid and warmer this afternoon. We'll have clouds and sun with a spotty thunderstorm and a high of 90. Partly cloudy, low 71 tonight, high 90 with some sun tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it is 78 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, and the weather is sponsored by Ricken Financial. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost covered the 3 key pillars of retirement planning: income, risk, and your tax strategy. Join us for Kickin' with the Rickens Redefining Retirement every Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on KMOX.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Later on today, we'll be chatting with St. Louis County Assessor and the Democratic candidate for St. Louis County, Jake Zimmerman. But before we do that, let's review some election results with one of our favorites, the executive editor of St. Louis Magazine, Sarah Fenske, who has written about the elections we had this week, as well as a St. Louis-based app called Betting on the Wedding, which, yes, is exactly what it sounds like, betting on weddings. We're going to get to that in a second because that's a lot of fun. But Sarah, thanks for joining us at the end of a busy week for local politicians.
Yeah, I'm ready for this one to be over, and I'm not even a local politician, so.
Well, let's get your quick review then. As you mentioned in the St. Louis Magazine morning newsletter, that Missouri is a red state, but the Republicans aren't necessarily your grandpa's Republicans when it comes to some of the issues you brought up: abortion, marijuana, pro-union, raising the minimum wage, and now Governor Kehoe facing some big defeats in Amendment 4 and 5.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, Kehoe came out and wanted to transform the state's tax code. And boy, the voters of Missouri did not like this. And I think there's a lot you could say about what they did wrong on this campaign. I think it's possible that they were reacting to the lack of specifics more than anything. Like maybe people would be in favor of getting rid of the income tax if you could find a way to sell this or maybe explain this better. But this was a resounding defeat, despite them spending a fair amount of money on this. I was covering election night, trying to handle reports from different reporters out in the field. And I'm thinking, okay, I have like till 9 o'clock. I'm going to get this done, that done. We'll have no idea who's winning. We'll see some early returns. And I mean, man, it was like the early returns hadn't even come in yet, and the AP called this race. So not even close.
Yeah, it's wild. You don't really see votes that lopsided. And it happened for both of those amendments, 4 and 5, both over 80%. And I'm sure it's happened, and maybe it's even happened recently for propositions or amendment proposals. But I was stunned, and I'm not stunned they lost. I'm stunned at how bad the losses were.
Yeah, one of my colleagues on Donnybrook said last night, and I wish I could remember who to credit for this, but they said, Mike Kehoe has managed to do the thing that nobody thought could be done. He's united all of Missouri, rural and urban. We all came together to vote down his ideas.
Yeah, I know. On our station yesterday, I can't remember who said it as well, but that you probably couldn't get 80% of people to agree that today is Friday.
Right.
And yet you got over 80% of people to vote no on 4 and 5. So there's
I
that.
will say one thought to that, though, Amy. I think, these are not your November voters. These are not your general election voters. Your August voter tends to be somebody who's paying a lot of attention. And I said, I am like on videotape saying this on Donnybrook. I thought the minute that he scheduled this for the August election was when it lost. Because these are voters who are like, I'm paying attention. I do agree today is Friday. I'm living in a fact-based universe, and I want to see more details before I dramatically overhaul the state's tax system. I think your November voters, they're like, what, is it Friday? Is it Tuesday? I don't know. I hate trans people. Click, they're just making up their mind more emotionally. That's my theory.
That's, I think there's some truth to that, but also August primaries, or the primaries leading up to the general, that's when the lunatics tend to win.
That's true. And I think, you're more engaged. They're your more engaged voters.
Yeah.
I think of them as like they're paying more attention. Sometimes they're paying so much attention that they are driven crazy by the current events all
That
around
might
them.
be right.
Too much attention.
That might be right.
But
it radicalizes you.
Yeah, no, because we talk about the primaries and how we've talked a lot to Hancock and Kelly, how they're so frustrated with it because you get these candidates that come November, nobody wants, and you always hear the question, these can't be our 2 best options. I mean, that's what everybody said. This can't be our 2 best options. Well, that was decided in the primary. But when you look at 2 extreme candidates, I'm editorializing. I'm saying extreme here. Cori Bush on the left and Bill Eigel on the right. They both lost to their more moderate opponents.
Yeah, the normies had a great night, I mean, they all, people who came out of this cycle, you even look at like a guy like Jake Zimmerman, like nobody could say this guy is a crazy radical. Not that you would have said that about Brian Williams either, but I feel like St. Louis had this sort of era we were in for maybe like 5 years or so where there was like some real extremes. And I think that era has ended here. We want to elect basic competence. We're choosing the Steve Ellman. This is a guy who like understands the details, cares about policy. He's not just throwing bombs online.
Yeah, about Zimmerman. I don't think he's an extreme. There's something off about him, though. There's something different about Jake Zimmerman.
He's reassuringly nerdy, Chris. I mean, come on. That's his whole...
I don't dislike him, but there is something different about him. We're going to talk to him at 11:30, so looking forward to it.
Comfortingly,
he's a really interesting guy. Like I like talking to him. He's very smart. He is super dorky, and like he would not feel insulted that I just said that. So
I think maybe the first question to him when he comes on is, "What is it with you?"
Yeah.
What's going on?
He would give you a very discursive answer on that.
He probably would.
I think, Ron, you're opening the interview with that.
Okay, I will. Sarah Fenske, executive editor of St. Louis Magazine, is with us. Enough election talk because we've done this, and I think we're all tired. And there's more of it to come in the upcoming weeks here. But you wrote about this app, and it is based here, and it is called Betting on the Wedding. And when I first heard about it, I was hoping that what you were betting on is how long a marriage would last, but that's not it. It's more of a fun prop betting kind of thing. So if you want to explain to people what this app is, I think it's great.
Yeah, I think this is really fun. So the way this was described to me is this fun St. Louis couple who has a lot of friends. The girlfriends were all coming together because one friend would get married and they'd all start bringing their boyfriends that didn't know each other. Well, the boys ended up bonding over just making silly bets at the bar. They'd be like, what do you want to bet this guy's going to cry? Let's all put $5 in on this, whether or not the groom cries. And then at the end of the night, they'd settle up. And this is apparently a very popular group of people. There were just wedding after wedding they went to. It started escalating. They're getting more into it. And this couple, Greg and Stacy, they're spending a lot of time like managing the betting pool. They're thinking, surely there could be an app for this. Well, and not so coincidentally, Stacy is also a serial entrepreneur. She's sold a couple of companies. She really knows what she's doing. She's on top of this. And they created this app. Originally, they marketed this thinking that friends of the couple would want to set up these betting pools because that's what they'd been doing. They quickly realized Brides and grooms want to own this. They can put forward these bets. So it's not going to be something that's like embarrassing to the bride of like, will the bride be caught picking her nose or will the marriage last? It's going to be like, how many bobby pins are in the bride's hair? It becomes this thing, I mean, just picture this. Like you're in line for the bar. There's some random person you've never met. You immediately have a fun conversation starter. I think it really increases just the energy and the connectivity at these weddings.
Okay, I hesitate bringing this up because it sounds really bad, because it is. But some friends of mine went to a wedding where, how sometimes like you are the most ancillary friend group. Like you don't know anyone, you don't know the family, you only know each other. And this was like a pretty wild bride and groom. So they were making bets as people walked down the aisle. This is so bad, please forgive me. It was like heroin or cocaine. Like that's what they were betting, because like they were pretty heavily druggy people. So they would bet like heroin, cocaine, or mushrooms. Like what was that groomsman's or bridesmaid's drug of choice?
Oh.
And apparently that was what they had because they didn't know anybody. So maybe in a little bit of a less vulgar or way, this is kind of like along those lines of it gave them something to do when they knew nobody.
Well, Amy, I'm so offended by this story. And here's why. You can immediately tell the difference between someone who's on coke and someone who's on heroin.
Amy doesn't know anything about any of that.
And the winners of my friends, 2 of them were doctors, and they said it wasn't even fun because it was so easy.
I tell you, once you start thinking in these terms, like it's like this Rosetta Stone where you can unlock the whole world and everyone's behavior, and it does become very obvious over time. Oh
yes.
Yeah, that guy's on shrooms.
Yeah, the doctors weren't wrong.
So some of the things that you can bet on, and there are a lot of them, but examples, if you go to their website, are things like, will the bride have a veil? Will any of the wedding party cry during the processional? Will either party have an outfit change? Will the officiant make a joke in the opening remarks? Like that's the kind of stuff that you can bet on, which is very similar to, we talk about Super Bowl props because those are very popular during the Super Bowl. What color is the Gatorade going to be when the Gatorade bath happens? So this is similar to that, but it seems like, Sarah, this would be very easy to for gambling fraud. You know what I mean? It seems like it'd be very easy for the couple to collude. Yes.
I mean, one would hope that the couple would have bigger and better things on their mind than trying to defraud their own guests,
Hey,
Chris.
man.
So
They might be out $40,000, $50,000, $80,000 trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
One of the things that Greg and Stacey told me is they said that at the end of it, when the pool is settled up, people can choose to like give half of the pool to the bride and groom. And I'm thinking,
No.
I already spent enough
They
money
have
on this.
enough.
no.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
but Sarah, the money, I was reading from your story, it's not like Kalshi or Poly Market where it's money out there. I mean, you're betting among the guests, and you Venmo people.
And you can even do it without money. Like it can just be for fun. They say most people don't, but yeah, this is not like trying to get rich. It's a conversation starter. You're gonna throw in $5. I don't know if you're like a high roller, you throw in $100, but it's more like it's like it's within this closed circle. You're not bringing this to this broader market where like I'm betting on the wedding of your druggy friends, Amy.
Wait a minute.
Friends of friends.
Friends of friends. Yeah, that's why we had to do this.
She talks about my degenerate friends.
I know.
She's hanging out with some ne'er-do-wells. That's what they call them.
They are ne'er-do-wells if I've ever seen a ne'er-do-well.
So in this app, which I have not gotten to use, I mean, what's the intake here? I mean, how much money is changing hands? Or in terms of this being a business, how does it make money?
Well, so this actually totally makes sense to me. There's a lot of times I write about businesses and I'm like, whoa, how the heck are you monetizing this?
Yeah.
The bride and the groom are paying, or whoever wants to set it up for a wedding, they are just paying a $50 flat fee. No, the guests do not have to download this app. Once the bride and the groom set it up, they have the app. Everybody else can just access it, like a text message comes to their phone if they choose to opt in, and the bride and groom can send out the thing to get it started like a week before the wedding. I can see brides and grooms being like, oh, it's just this fun $50 add-on. Well, $50 plus $50, they've got 21,000 people that have paid for this. That does add up.
So it's just $50 per couple per wedding?
Yep. And then everything
it.
is sort of taken care of.
But
Yeah,
as
you're
you-
just, it's like it's the cheapest little add-on that does feel like it would add a lot of fun.
Yeah, and as you note in your story, though, it's gone pretty viral. They tried to soft launch it in 2023, thinking they would get maybe a few dozen users, and it blew up where they had thousands, and they weren't expecting it.
Yeah, and it totally makes sense to me. They said every time that some bride will post about this, oh, this was so fun. They
Yeah.
bet whether or not my dad would cry and my dad was bawling. Like, it'll just go viral all over again. Like, they just see like waves of new customers finding out about them by attending a wedding where they end up having a blast. So it seems like a really good business plan. They're also branching out into doing baby pools. I don't know about y'all, but this is like a big thing in my family. Anytime a baby's going to be born, we're all like betting on
It's
will
gonna
it
be
be a
ugly.
boy or a girl.
Oh.
It's gonna be
what's,
ugly.
What's the wait? So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you can't really mess with that. The weight is the weight. You
You can't. Yeah, you
The weight
can't.
is the
no,
weight.
the weight's the length.
The time it
Chris,
comes out.
you're very concerned about fraud here, but yeah, I would
I
say
am.
babies are fraud proof.
I am, because I am into sports betting, and I don't want these bad actors to ruin it for the rest of us.
Because what everybody, the thing that makes the birth of a baby so special is the integrity of the competition.
Correct.
And once you lose the integrity of the competition,
That's right.
people aren't going to care
So
that the
these-
baby's there anymore.
These athletes that commit fraud, it pisses me off because they're going to ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
The worst, you don't want baby betting fraud.
I don't want any colluding going
No
on
colluding.
here. Sarah Fensky.
Yeah, I can see. Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, you speak. I've got nothing.
I was gonna say I could see an expectant mother inducing early just to try to sabotage the pool. I can see it.
Oh man.
I think you should be able to bet on whether or not the baby's going to be ugly.
And if the marriage
And
will last.
the answer is always yes. All newborns are hideous.
Come on.
All of them.
You're a horrible person,
They're
Raj.
all hideous. There's never been a good-looking
Everyone,
newborn
if
baby.
you're listening and you're mad in
Sorry.
the car, I'm on your side.
Sarah Fensky, we enjoy you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Sarah Fensky, executive editor of St. Louis Magazine. Subscribe to the St. Louis Magazine newsletter. We talk to somebody from St. Louis Mag every Friday on KMOX.
Well, Matt was mad that we just could not get to commercial here, and he's
I
going
don't care.
to be mad if you don't visit Rottler.com because you're going to get bugs in your house. And you're going to call Matt, and you're going to be mad, and he's going to say, I don't feel sorry for you. You should have called Rottler. Because for over 70 years, Rottler has been serving families in the St. Louis area, all of the surrounding areas of the largest family-owned pest control company in the state. And they're known for their responsive service and long-term customer relationships because it works. They're great to work with. They know St. Louis. They know St. Louis pests. They've been doing this, like I said, for over 70 years. They know how the seasonal changes and the weather changes are going to drive specific pests into your home, through your basement, through your windows. And so give them a call because, one, when you do call Rottler, a real person will answer the phone. Two, they're responsive. You can have same day or next day service, have a technician at your home, and that inspection is free. So you can tell them what you're concerned about, and they can also let you know maybe there's something you need to be concerned about, and they'll make a program for you. Visit them today, Rottler.com, Rottler.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
We were talking about St. Charles being perhaps, well, as Michael said, the most stable area of our region in a lot of ways. And they really are booming, and they have a lot of festivals that go on in St. Charles, and they're hoping to get more attractions that would be not just one-time festivals, but also permanent exhibits. And I learned something that I didn't know existed. Apparently, Range in Bonne Terre, Missouri, where your people are from.
That's the home of the Rangies.
The home of, isn't there a Rangi Street?
There is.
Yeah, in Bonne Terre.
I think my people settled there.
Did you make it? Did you invent Bonne Terre?
I did not. I've never been down there even.
Well, not you, but your family.
Oh.
Are you the first settlers?
I think so. Well, I don't know about the first, but it is the first place in the area that my ancestors settled in.
Well, the mayor of St. Charles City, not county, but Mayor Dan Borgmeyer of St. Charles City told the city council that one of the permanent exhibits that St. Charles wants to make a year-round destination in St. Charles would be the Space Museum and Grissom Center, which apparently is in Bonne Terre. Now, first of all, I didn't know there was a space museum in Bonne Terre.
Neither did I.
And the Grissom Center, which you asked if it had something to do with Gus Grissom. Gus Grissom, the Mercury 7 astronaut. Yes and no. So Earl Mullins in Bonne Terre apparently just loved outer space and collected items since he was a child. So he collected all these space items. And in 2003, he took all his stuff and he made a little museum in a former city building. And then somehow he connected with the brother of Gus Grissom, Lowell Grissom, to get more high-profile historic items. So if you go to Bonne Terre, there is the Space Museum that has spaceflight hardware, space suits, and moon rocks.
Yeah, he's got some Gemini spacesuits.
Yes.
There. Yep.
And they want to move it to St. Charles, Missouri.
And Apollo program spacesuits.
I had no idea there was a space museum in Bonne Terre.
There's a lot of stuff there. He's got a cart that President Kennedy rode on, a McDonnell Aircraft Corporation tour cart.
Okay.
But I guess when he toured the facility, he has the cart that the president rode in.
Well, there you go.
There's a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Well, how did I have no idea about any of this?
I don't know. I feel like
why is there? I think of it. Why would it be there? Why would there be this museum with all this
space stuff? Yeah.
In Bonne Terre, Missouri.
Because it does make more sense for a space museum to be in St. Louis because of Boeing. And apparently, Boeing is expressing interest to contributing to the museum effort if it moves to St. Charles.
See, that would be very cool.
Because St. Charles is very close to that Boeing facility.
I do hate for my Bonne Terre people to lose this museum. But it would be cool to have it closer to St. Louis. Although St. Charles feels like it's
Bonne Terre.
Yeah, it might as well be Bonne Terre.
It's
rude. That far.
That's rude.
I'll stop being so far away.
Ron
St.
doesn't
Charles?
like to cross multiple rivers.
I do not.
What if we ask Jake Zimmerman to start something of a border war for the Space Museum and say, no, we want the Space Museum in St. Louis County?
Oh, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to talk to him about it. See if there's there's got to be a good place in the county where they could put it. I would love to have one. That's what I would say.
Instead of putting up a Spirit Halloween.
So it is an
Put it
hour from here, straight south to go to Bonne Terre.
Mhm.
It takes basically an hour to get to St. Charles.
Take an hour from
I guess
here.
there's no difference.
Greg Damon's going to
Feels
call
like
in
it.
and say it's not an hour.
I've taken my car out there. It's longer than an hour. But I love Greg, and so I'll go see him anytime. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Anyway, the Bonne Terre Space Museum and Grissom Center is going to be potentially moving to St. Charles.
And then I would go because
5 minutes closer than it is now.
I've never touched a moon rock
I believe that I have.
in DC.
No, I think when I was a kid, I think there was somewhere I got a moon rock. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of soccer. The City SC team they're not playing
We
this
do mean
weekend.
a little bit, just a little.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to ask Jen Cease about telling someone you love them.
Yeah, we're going to get her thoughts on relationships and love.
Mhm.
See what she has to say. Jen C, City SC broadcaster on Y98, will join us when we come back on KMOX.
The Cardinals conversation doesn't end when the game does. Watch the Gas House game, Redbird Rush Hour, Sports Open Line, and sports on a Sunday morning whenever and wherever you want. Plus, exclusive conversations with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol, president of baseball operations Chaim Bloom, players, broadcasters, and baseball insiders. Subscribe today to the KMOX Sports YouTube channel because Cardinals fans deserve a front row seat.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
81 degrees, but the real field temperature is 97 with that humidity. A high today of 90. Tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 70.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. Life happens. Accidents, deaths. Make your estate plan now, or the courts will decide for you later. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Hey, this is Lauren, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's gonna add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken, breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
City SC's got the weekend off, and they're going to be back at it in San Jose August 15th. They will get back to their season, which, by the way, is now a playoff season. I mean, they've got playoff points at the moment, so they're in good shape. They've been playing a whole lot better for the last several weeks. You know, you take out the World Cup break, which took a month and a half, but they were playing well before. They've been playing well since. And now it is time to go to the Quiver River Electric guest line. And we've got with us City SC broadcaster on Y98, one of our soccer experts, Jen Cease, joins the show. Good morning, Jen.
Happy Friday.
Why? How come they just had 6 weeks off? Why do they have another one?
I know, right? They always have this part of the international break in August. So it is funny, though, that, we had 6 weeks off or so for the World Cup, come back, play a handful of games, literally, and then go back to break again. So I don't think there's any player on St. Louis City SC or around the MLS, for that matter, who can say they haven't had plenty of rest time for any nagging injuries, or if you weren't in shape, you should be by now.
I think, isn't that like schools where you go back to school and you get about 2 weeks in school and then they have a fall break before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
And I'm like, fall
That's what
break?
It feels like.
You were just off all summer. Hey,
trust me, I have put all of my kids, the school calendar in they go to the Kirkwood schools, and they're all pretty much the same, but all the number of days off, I'm like, when are you going to school?
I can see why we've got a reading problem.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of reading, Ron, we have two questions about City's star player.
Well, the main question, Marcel Hartel, like what's going to happen with him?
Well, the other one, I thought the other one was the main one, which is
the main one?
Marcel Hartel or Marcel Hartel.
Oh.
Or Cello, if you would like to call him by his nickname. And he does not play the cello.
So yeah, like what the hell's going on? Because it looks like he's leaving. I mean, that's what all the reporting is, and even today the reporting is that he's going away. If that's the case, why?
Yeah, the only thing I know is what kudos to Matt Baker with Flyover Footy, who found an article or whatever was transcribed from maybe a blogger, somebody who interviewed him from Germany, talking a little bit about the interest perhaps from FC Cologne, that is, to potentially go back there. Of course, Marcel Hartl now has 2 kids with his wife. He's been here in America for a couple of years. One of the big draws for Marcel Hartl was coming with also Cedric Teuchert. And of course, Cedric's been gone since the World Cup break, so he's no longer with the club. I haven't heard anything directly, certainly not from Marcel, not from the club. However, it does make you look when you have Marcel Hartl not start in the last game, and that has never happened. He has never not started. Usually also because of his incredible fitness, he usually plays most, if not all, the minutes. So to have him not come in until the 72nd minute against Real Salt Lake, and of course when he did, he completely changed the game. He not only scored, yeah, true, but he also changed the game. The momentum that Real Salt Lake had, that they had come back from the halftime with, he broke them completely of that and turned the tide in favor of St. Louis City SC. So kudos to the St. Louis media for asking Yoann Damet directly after the game of, what's the deal with Marcel Hartl? Why was he out? And we kind of said he wasn't ready. He wasn't really able to play. It was asked then directly, is he sick? And the answer was no. So you're piecing together things that I cannot confirm, but it does certainly look like he potentially has interest overseas, back home overseas for him. And if they have interest for him, then I don't know what kind of a thing that will do with St. Louis City SC with the contract. And certainly, if a player may go, I would certainly hope that we can hang on to him through the end of the season.
So he just wants out. He wants to go back home. That's basically what this is.
At least that's what I'm reading. When I read the article, it says, if there was some, if serious interest came from Germany, I would definitely consider it. Marcel Hartl is quoted as saying, the 2 years here in America were beautiful and the experiences were very valuable. But with concrete offer, I would definitely think about it. And I bet it has more to do, it does little less to do with the MLS in America. And it has more to do with the fact that is home for not only him, his wife, his children, and a place that, he would like to play at again. So that is all I have for everybody. Okay. I don't have any further information. I wish I did.
Well, what about this? Are we going to go back to stinking after he leaves?
Well, when he wasn't on the field, it certainly didn't help. However, of course, we have Carlo Holza coming in. Now, he is not a direct one-for-one placement for Marcel Hartl. They are not identical players. Having somebody out there, though, like Carlo Holza, to be able to do what he can do, it would have been a whole lot better if he could do that with Cello. So I'm hoping that can go at least through the rest of the season. So I don't think we're going to go to sucking. Of course, don't forget Alexandre Matan. He did feature in a game against RSL, and boy, he's got explosive energy. I'm interested in seeing what more he can do. But yeah, certainly, just as City's kind of gaining that momentum, turning the tide, we're above the playoff line. I think we're number 7 in the Western Conference right now. We're undefeated in 9 games if you include Open Cup. It certainly does feel like a gut punch right now that could happen.
And Jen, isn't this one of the aspects that separates the MLS a little bit from the NFL and Major League Baseball, which is there is a lot of player shuffling in Major League Soccer within the season and then season to season?
Yeah, it is a little bit different than there. And still, too, also right now, just like you guys were talking about when we started the show, by me starting the show with you, that St. Louis City's back on a break again. We are still not, MLS is not in the same schedule as the rest of the world. So I think that it's going to be a little bit different when MLS aligns with the rest of the world. We're not going to have these weird timelines of all of a sudden now we're potentially losing players when nobody else in the world is really moving like that. So I think that's one thing. And then, yeah, too, you've got soccer, which is truly probably our only true international sport played around the world, where you have the ability for players to go to multiple places. Sometimes players come to the United States and play in the MLS because they also want to be in America. They want to be in the United States. Carlo Holza talked about wanting to make sure he was able to play here at one point in time. So yeah, I think it is different from the NFL, from Major League Baseball, where you don't quite have that much shuffling, and especially too on an international scale. Good example too is Carlo Holza can't play yet. He can't play until he's cleared with his visa. He's cleared with some more paperwork. So it's not like you're moving from one state to another and you can immediately jump in a game. Soccer is certainly a different beast being a world sport.
All right, just from the perspective of making MLS a greater world player, I have heard conversation about this, that they need to get a global star to come play here in his prime instead of waiting until the very end, like Messi or I think Valderrama. I think that was the original one way back in the 90s, right? Like he came and played MLS. You got to have guys come and play here when they're at their absolute peak. How would that even happen? Because you'd have to pay them, and is there money for that?
Yeah, David Beckham played in the MLS as well. I remember watching him in Kansas City. I watched him when they were the Kansas City Wizards before they were Sporting KC. Getting to watch him and bend the corner kick like he did, it was like, oh, yeah, that's why he's got that nickname, Bend It Like Beckham. He's that amazing. But of course, he was past his prime in his 20s, still amazing, but you're right. And I think some of that might be a challenge for MLS because it's a parity league. There are rules with GAM, general allocation money, TAM, other allocation money, and to keep clubs being with parity. Right now, there's a player, his name escapes me at the moment, for Inter Miami, where it's being investigated on how they even got him. Did they follow the proper procedures? So yeah, MLS has got it pretty locked down when it comes to rules, procedures, and how much money you can spend. Lutz Pfannenstiel, actually, the sporting director, former for St. Louis City SC, talked about that right when he got here to City and talked about the fact that, if you're over in Europe, you could basically spend whatever you want to in terms of the owners can say, yeah, you can spend that much money and go out and do that. But Major League Soccer has rules in place that tries to keep the clubs in somewhat of a monetary and financial parity so as to not give one club more of an advantage over the other just because they have more money to spend.
Forget that. We need to start finding ways around rules and commit fraud.
Cheat.
Screw that.
They
We're
just
trying
need
to
to
grow
cheat.
the league. Yeah.
Big fraud day for you.
Yeah, let's
Big
grow
fraud day.
Let's do whatever
Do
you
what
have
I
to.
do when I play games with my kids. You cheat.
No, you're resourceful. You're thinking outside
There
the
you
box.
go, resourceful.
Think
That's
outside
right.
the box.
Resourceful.
Okay, Jen, before we let you go, we do need to ask you a relationship question. I would set it up, but I think, Ranj, this is your story to set up.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Okay, everybody's heard this story who's been listening, but I've got a buddy, likes this lady. They've known each other for a few months. He's really into her, even though she started the whole thing. But then she's kind of been doing that, stiff arm sort of thing, right? We're keeping him at a distance, but, I like you. And then, and so he told her he loved her the other day in person. And then he's been really messed up over her because she's not giving him what he needs, right? And so he told her he loved her, and she had one of those kind of reactions to it. And then a couple of days ago, he reiterated it via text, and he said, I mean that. And he kind of, he laid it out for her.
So that she wouldn't be skittish, saying, I really mean this. Don't be afraid. I do love you. Yeah.
Trying to get a squirrel to come eat out of your hand.
Yeah.
And he sent this long, gentle text, and it was very nice. He showed it to me. I have the screenshot. And you know what she replied with?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That's all she said.
Okay.
Right?
What do you do?
Well, it's better than my daughter who does KK. They don't even do okay.
She does that too.
The younger generation, they're too lazy to do okay.
She does that too. I've seen it. I know this woman. I've seen it.
Jen, don't you think she's like hanging on to him until something better comes along?
Yeah, he's got to go. I mean, he needs to move on, is what I'm saying. I don't know how old he is. I'm 52, so I am not in the age of playing games anymore. So I feel like if you want to shoot your shot and if you like somebody and you want to say that, you should be you. And if that person is, one, either not ready for it, or two, reacts in a way that that doesn't return that affection in that way, then there are so many more fish in the sea. I used to hate that when my dad said that, but it's so true. There's so many other people out there who are ready to meet your energy where it is. And if she's not, then I feel bad for him, but that just gave him his answer.
I am so with you. And I know they hung out yesterday too, after all this.
Of course they did.
He'll drop everything to go hang out with her. And I'm trying to get him not to do that.
And just so you know, I would probably not listen to anything I just said.
I know.
Why not? You know what you're talking about.
I don't follow my own good advice.
I know, but do as you say, not as you do. That's
exactly
so
100%.
true. Yeah.
I'm going to send him your way.
We got a lady.
I'll tell him I'm going to do KKKKKKK.
It's unbelievable.
Oh.
And by the way,
okay.
it is very funny that you said KK. How old is your daughter who does that?
17. So, yes.
That's what this woman does that too. And I've known this lady for probably 12 years. And that's what she does.
Does she ever do the
No, I can't do that. I do okay. Okay.
I spell out
I don't care
okay.
if it's I don't care if it's uppercase or lowercase, but I do okay. And apparently when I put a period at the end of things, that's aggressive.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah,
is what my younger kids do.
That does make sense.
That's what
I'm like, it's grammar. It's
Yeah.
grammar.
If grammar's aggressive, you're soft. So I'm always I have grammar, full punctuation in my text, and if you can't take it, well, that's a you problem.
That's right. If I really like you, I'll give you a winking emoji.
I'll do.
Jen, don't use emojis now. They don't like those.
Oh my
They
gosh.
Kids don't
definitely
like
do
emojis.
not.
Jen,
Hey,
thank
remember
you.
when we
What?
had to use like semicolons and like
For smiley faces.
Thank you, the emoticons. Yeah,
I
that's
use
how old I am.
semicolons in text sometimes.
Jen Cease, City SC broadcaster on Y98, and they'll be back at it next week. So enjoy
Back
the
at
off
it.
week. We'll talk to you soon, Jen.
Thanks, guys.
That's Jen Cease here on KMOX. Did you see this next?
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going a swing.
Ready to elevate your game? Join the MBA Sportscasters Forum on Tuesday, September 15th in St. Louis. Learn from Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and Hall of Famer John Rooney as they break down play-by-play, reporting, interviewing, and covering the game. Then cap off the day with the Cardinals versus Giants at Busch Stadium. Step into the booth, sharpen your skills. Go to KMOX.com/events for details and registration.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't pay
don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Chris Ranchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, St. Charles is getting a lot of love from us today. Talking a lot about St. Charles and how they've got it going on. Guess what tomorrow is?
St. Charles Day.
It's the Corn Festival.
Oh, the Corn Festival.
Yeah. I believe it's a one-day event. Starts early, 7:30 a.m. If you ever wake up and you need corn right now. 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. There is a cornhole tournament, and I guess you just buy corn. There's not a whole lot of details. There aren't a whole lot of details on the website.
There's a corn tournament.
But it says stock up on fresh local corn and check out the Cornhole Tournament. Those seem to be the two big attractions, but it is the Corn Festival.
Well, okay.
I know Andrew Stolz of the David Glover Show loves corn. Like, loves it.
Okay.
We need to tell him about this.
So I hope there's different kinds of corn, like what's the elotes? I hope they have that.
What's the decorative corn? Where it's like red and orange.
You put it on the wall?
Mm-hmm. You decorate it for fall.
I don't know what that's called. I think it's just called corn.
I bet you could learn about it at the Corn Festival.
You probably can. So a new movie is coming out at the end of September, and I saw the trailer for it just dropped.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet teens online. You see how this looks, right?
So that's from the trailer.
Is this To Catch a Predator?
Okay, so there is a movie coming out September 26th in theaters. It's an A24 film starring Robert Pattinson, who is playing Chris Hansen in the movie called Primetime. And yes, it is about the show To Catch a Predator, which was on from 2004 through 2007. And this was kind of a popular show. A lot of people watched it. Everybody knew who Chris Hansen was at the time. And I didn't know this movie was in the works. But
Catch a Predator, huh?
Yeah, so there's a movie about putting the show together, about making the show a thing.
That is,
and everybody knows To Catch a Predator. Even if you haven't watched it, you've heard of it.
I've never watched it, but I've heard of it. And in fact, we've created a sideshow, the guys that I run with, because there are a couple guys who they feel like they can really pick up on who's creepy and who's not. So they wanted to start their own show called To Catch a Creeper.
Okay.
And they could just say, like, that guy's a creeper. This guy's a creeper.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
No, I don't
One
think...
is far, far worse.
Yeah, I think if you're just generally creepy, you can't go to jail for that, but it might be a precursor to going to jail if you're creepy, because you might be doing creepy things.
Just don't do creepy things.
But we've all met someone who's creepy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I know some of them.
I did a quick note. Happy birthday to the St. Louis Police. The city's police department was established on this date in 1808, just 5 years after the Louisiana Purchase brought St. Louis into the United States. And as St. Louis Magazine points out, quote, staffing levels and compensation were already an issues. The fledgling police department had just 4 officers, and they all worked for free.
Well, that was nice of them. They didn't ask for any money. I can't believe it. Well, good for them. Hey, we do have coming up on the show Tom O'Connor, who is a retired lieutenant with the New York City Fire Department. He is a board member with the Tunnels to Towers Foundation, and he's going to be in town because one of the steel beams or a piece of steel from the World Trade Center, which there are museums that have these steel beams or some of them, and this one is making a tour, and it's stopping in St. Louis. It'll be at the Cardinals game tomorrow. And so that is courtesy of Tunnel to Towers Foundation. So when we come back on the show, we're going to talk to Tom O'Connor, who is going to discuss that with us. It's been 25 years, almost. Next month will be 25 years since 9/11 happened, which is, I don't know. I know we talk about these kind of things all the time. I can't believe it's been that long, but that is one that I cannot believe it's been 25 years. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Tom O'Connor will join the show when we come back on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You've pictured it, the garage door that finally makes your home look the way you want it to. And now get $500 back on a qualifying garage door with the Overhead Door Home Refresh Rebate. Qualifying purchase must be made by September 13th. Let Overhead Door Company of St. Louis upgrade your curb appeal and get you up to $500 back. Schedule a free estimate at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. Select models. Rebate paid as a Visa prepaid gift card. Restrictions apply. See website for full terms.
Taking care of yourself should fit into your life, not complicated. Neovitin Original Formula is a complete daily multivitamin designed to support your everyday wellness routine with essential vitamins, minerals, and a natural ingredient blend, all in just 2 daily tablets. Subscribe online at neovitin.com for monthly delivery or shop Neovitin at your local Schnucks and Dearborn. Neovitin Original Formula is physician formulated to fit easily into your everyday routine. All of our vitamins are manufactured in a certified GMP facility in the USA. Neovitin, make nutrition easy.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are talking to Dr. Premal Thacker.
How to cope with such a diagnosis that can be very supportive for you through your journey of cancer. And additionally, we have social workers as well. So we're very fortunate at Siteman Cancer Center to have such a in-depth team to take care of you as you embark on this, hard time in your life.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
Give the gift of a magical experience at St. Louis Union Station when you take a real train ride journey to the North Pole aboard the Polar Express. Meet Santa and experience the magic of the Polar Express story with hot chocolate, treats, music, and sing-alongs. For those that truly believe in the spirit of Christmas, head down to St. Louis Union Station this year. Book your golden ticket before they sell out at stlpolarexpressride.com.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 11 o'clock. We have cloudy skies and 82 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. A federal appeals court says Congress must approve President Trump's White House ballroom and has blocked the ongoing construction.
In a 2-1 decision, a panel of judges at the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals concluded that President Donald Trump exceeded his own authority when he set out to build a $400 million ballroom at the White House without congressional approval. The majority writing, quote, each president is a temporary tenant, not the owner of the White House, and that only Congress has the right to approve the changes. The ruling doesn't take effect for 2 weeks, and the Trump administration is expected to appeal to the Supreme Court. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
A registered sex offender is in jail after Alton police found him with a child. 56-year-old Terry Davis was alone with an 11-year-old when Alton police rolled up to the 2900 block of Homer Adams Parkway in June. A month-long investigation by Alton police and the Madison County Child Advocacy Center concluded the child was a victim of both Davis and 53-year-old Andrew Westbrook. Both men are facing multiple charges, including predatory criminal sexual assault of a child, and are in jail pending a detention hearing. We're finding out more about a high-profile murder investigation involving a teen suspect dressed as a clown. A 15-year-old charged with first-degree murder after a 78-year-old man was stabbed. John Allen's body was found near 76th and State Street in East St. Louis late Monday night. Illinois State Police say he was waiting at a bus stop and that the stabbing was a random attack. The teen charged has been seen on Ring camera video dressed in a clown costume and mask. We are waiting to find out if he will be charged as an adult. High levels of E. coli found in the Big River an hour south of St. Louis after the Leadwood wastewater treatment facility failed.
So the wastewater treatment facility at Leadwood is an aging system, and they have had some mechanical breakdowns that are causing the treatment plant there not to be able to meet permitted effluent limits that are discharging to the Big River.
That is Bradley Ledbetter, Southeast Regional Director of the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. He says the department's working with the city of Leadwood to upgrade the facilities, but that big fixes will have to wait until funding is secured. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
High 90 this afternoon. It's warming up with clouds and sun, even a spotty thunderstorm. Humid with some clouds and a low of 71 tonight. High 90 tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it is mostly cloudy and 82 degrees downtown. The weather sponsored by SNL Coin. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Next month will mark the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks here on United States soil, and the most damage and loss of life happening in New York City. The Twin Towers, of course, came down on that day as a result of those attacks. And coming through town is a piece of the World Trade Center. Is it a piece of steel that was part of the World Trade Center? And joining us now on the Quiver River Electric guest line is Tom O'Connor, retired lieutenant with the New York City Fire Department, also board member of Tunnel to Towers Foundation, which is bringing that piece of steel and will be at the Cardinals game. That's going to be tomorrow, as there will be a ceremony there. Tom, we appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us first more about Tunnel to Towers Foundation?
Yeah, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was formed by the Silla family after the events of 9/11. Stephen Silla was one of the 343 firefighters that made the ultimate sacrifice that day. The family wanted to get together, and they just wanted to start to help people. They have a very simple motto. It's called Let Us Do Good. So what they started out in the incipient stages was just really trying to help people get better by different, they were made aware of different things that were going on. And then there was a Marine, Brendan Morocco from Staten Island, which is where the foundation is based. He was the first quadruple amputee to survive. Like, he lost all 4 limbs. So when he came home, they said, well, we got to help this guy out. They went over and they realized his house wasn't fitted for him. He wasn't functional. You know, they needed to build ramps and all that stuff. So they decided to branch out, and they got different contractors and everybody contribute their time, and people donated, you know, materials. And they built the first smart home for Brendan Morocco on Staten Island. And what a smart home is, it's actually, to me, I've seen multiple. I'm still blown away by the technology. But what it does is it gives our veterans that are wounded, either single, double, triple, and sometimes quadruple amputees, their freedom back. They can go about the house. There's no stairs. They can go in, Everything is done by computer. The faucet, you touch it. The sink, and is a touch faucet. The stove lowers itself. The bathroom, you roll into it. If you're wheelchair bound, you can go right into the shower. Everything is accommodated, for the people that made, almost the ultimate sacrifice. People that have come home and lost limbs. So that was the beginning of the foundation. And from there, word got out that the foundation had built a smart home. And then we found out about more and more people that were living in homes that weren't good for them. I mean, there was one guy in particular, he came down the stairs once a day. He was stuck in his bedroom because he couldn't negotiate the stairs, and he'd have people come over. So we've done multiple throughout the country. And it's really been an amazing, amazing program. It's one of many programs that Tunnel of Towers has. But the Smart Home program really gives independence back to all of the people that serve our country and come back. They come back different than when they went away. I'll just put it that way.
Incredible program. And Tom, the scale of the loss and suffering on that day is still something that it is almost impossible to wrap our brains around. And if I'm right, you're a retired lieutenant with the New York City Fire Department. You responded to the World Trade Center when the towers collapsed. As much as you are comfortable, could you just share a little bit of your experience on that day as you were running towards the devastation?
Well, my story is the same as about 10,000 other guys. I was fortunate. I was off duty, and I was out on the east end of Long Island when I was made aware of the cowardly attacks of 9/11. And I made my way into my firehouse. I was a 21-year veteran. I got to my firehouse, got my gear. A bunch of us jumped on a bus, and we made it in. And I always describe going in on the bus on 9/11 because we already knew the towers were down, and both towers had already collapsed. And in our head, we're just calculating, all right, you got a fifth alarm assignment in each one, how many companies would be on each alarm. And we knew our death toll was going to be enormous. And going in on the bus, it was a quiet. Everybody, those guys with rosary beads were praying because we didn't know what we were getting into. We were trained that there might be a secondary device, that there might be a secondary attack. So we went in, and our goal in the beginning was to save people. And unfortunately, very few people come out of that rubble. The old company where I was in for 20 years, the old Firehouse, they were picked to save Geraldine and Ladder 6 and Engine 39. It was one of the only voids that we found amongst, a debris field of 17 acres. And, but we kept working. We really had the false, illusion, because we did find people on the first day that we were going to find more. And unfortunately, it never happened. But it wasn't for a lack of effort. And as a country, it was one of the best, most rewarding things I was ever involved with, because the outpouring of support was unending. Within day one, I'm working alongside Massachusetts Urban Search and Rescue. The next day, there's people in from Los Angeles County who are like, how the hell did you guys get here? Everything's shut down. But the government was flying planes into like Andrews Air Force Base and other bases close to us. And these guys were all coming down and helping us dig. And it was an amazing experience. And I was in the street when Building 7 came down, which not many people talk about. Building 7 was a 60-story structure that came down late in the afternoon. And it's a sound that, I'll never forget. It was like a low decibel locomotive just coming at you. And now you're running down the street, you're getting covered with all the asbestos and everything else that was involved in that. And it was a very, very wild experience. But here I am, approaching 25 years later, and I'm still here, and I thank God every day for that.
Yeah, so how are you doing it? It's been 25 years. Next month will be the 25th anniversary of it, and I know your experience is similar to thousands of other people who went down there to help. How are you personally doing?
I'm doing okay. I mean, I have some issues. I got some precancerous stuff in my lungs. I have asthma, GERD, sinusitis, but believe me, I'm not complaining. I mean, I see a team of doctors. Believe it or not, the federal, local governments have been great. The funding that like Jon Stewart and other people went down to D.C. and they were able to get for us. Like I still see, even though I'm retired, I still see the fire department doctors. I get a physical every year. They're testing us for some of the cancers that have popped up that were kind of bizarre. Like not that it's so bizarre, but our incidence of prostate cancer are through the roof. We have male breast cancer now as a result of 9/11. there's a whole bunch of other, like, bizarre cancers. I lost a very good friend to ALS, and even though it's not covered under the World Trade Center yet, our numbers are disproportionate to the local civilian population. So sooner or later, they're going to, hopefully cover ALS, because we're coming down with some bizarre stuff. But again, the incubation period for asbestos is 20 to 30 years. So we're right in the wheelhouse right now. So, but again, I'm not complaining. I've buried too many of my friends. Our number, we lost 343 on 9/11. We just crested, I think we're up to 445 now, post 9/11. Like every week I get a notification of another one or two guys that just died from 9/11 cancer. So it's an everyday occurrence. But again, we're here, with the Tunnel of Towers Foundation, which was the greatest thing to come out of 9/11, in my opinion. It's this foundation is just doing so much good stuff throughout the country. And one of the mistakes that people make is they think it's a New York City charity, and all we're doing is helping New Yorkers. Just for example, we have the smart home programs, and we have the Gold Star and the first, fallen first responders. Just alone here in the state of Missouri, they've done 13 homes for first responder families. They've done 2 Gold Star family homes and 3 smart homes. So, I mean, right here in this state alone, we've affected 16 people, and it's every state in the country, including Alaska and Hawaii, because everybody serves. It's a voluntary service now, and we've helped out all 50 states.
Wow. Retired lieutenant with the New York City Fire Department, Tom O'Connor, talking with us now. And I'm a little bit at a loss for words, Tom, with what you and so many of the people you know did so bravely, your courage, your service, and we are just overwhelmed by that. And I just want to say, too, like you said, what the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has done, delivered over 2,000 mortgage-free homes to heroes across the United States. And this year alone, the foundation is delivering 343 mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured veterans and first responders, as well as Gold Star families, as you mentioned, and fallen first responders. An incredible program, because there was so much suffering on that day 25 years ago, but the fallout from that continues for so many families.
It does. But I would definitely invite everybody in your listening audience tomorrow night at the Cardinals game. We're going to have the steel there. And it really is an impressive thing. The piece of steel, it's on a specially designed truck, and the sides pop up when they come in. The steel is 21 feet long. It's 16,000 pounds, I'm sorry. And Frank Silla wanted to make sure that this was an interactive thing. Like, you weren't just walking up like to a museum piece and looking at it. They put a stage up where you can climb the stairs and you can touch the piece of steel from the World Trade Center. Many people come up, they touch it, they say a prayer or just a moment of silence, and it really is a moving thing. And even for us, we're removed from 9/11 now. Like, they shut it down May of 2002, and it brings us all right back. But it's sad, but at the same time, it's just a reminder of what could happen if we let our guard down again. And I'm very, very proud to be a very small part of this really big operation. And the steel has been to, I don't even know which stop St. Louis is now, but all I know is it started May 2nd. There's 35 stops. And May 2nd went down I-95 into Florida, across the I-10 corridor. We actually hit the school where George Bush was when we were notified, President Bush, when we notified that we were attacked. We met Mrs. T from Emily Bookman School in Sarasota. It was amazing. And we just up California to Seattle, and now it's coming back along the top. So here we are in St. Louis, and hopefully we'll get a good turnout, and everybody can see the steel.
So the piece of steel that is here, do we know exactly, or it's probably difficult to know exactly what part of the building it was, but how much of that can you know?
Yeah, they identified it because, believe it or not, the ironworkers marked every hunk of steel that went into those 210-story buildings.
Amazing.
So they're very easily, it's from the North Tower. So, that's the tower they believe Stephen perished in, because just to give your audience a quick synopsis of what Stephen did. On 9/11, Stephen Silla was assigned to Squad 1 in Brooklyn. He got off duty. He had a scanner. He heard about the attacks. He drove to the firehouse, and his company was already deployed. So he grabbed gear, 70 pounds of gear, threw it in his pickup truck, and the island of Manhattan was completely shut down that day. Every bridge, river, subway tunnel, everything was completely shut down. So Stephen tried to get through, and they wouldn't let him. He parked his truck, he grabbed 70 pounds of equipment, threw it on his back, and he ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. And he started to get involved with the removal of, survivors that were coming down from the North Tower. And unfortunately, Stephen passed away along with 342 other firefighters. So that was the inception of the charity. He paid the ultimate price, and his family just wanted to honor him. And they had no idea when they started what this was going to evolve into. Because I've been involved with them since 2005. We started doing disaster relief. Mostly it's hurricanes, and we've done, starting at Katrina in 2005, then we had Sandy at home, and we had Harvey in Texas, and Florence in the Carolinas, Florida 4 times, Michael, Irma, Ian. The eyes are bad, I can tell you that right now. For some reason, the hurricanes with the eyes do the damage. But that's all part of the programs. We're just there to help other people, and it's really a phenomenal charity.
Well, Tom, we are very glad to have you here in St. Louis. I know that this will be an amazing exhibit, and people should come out to see it. So it's going to be, again, where you'll have a ceremony at the ballpark, but then where is the steel going to be that people can come see?
It should be, depending on, one of the problems that we've had, like I've gone to all 3 of the baseball games. First one in Miami, we were able to get it inside the gate. So people that had tickets that went through the gate could go up and see it. In Seattle, we had to go across the street. I honestly don't know if we even know where we're putting it tomorrow yet.
Okay.
Because of the security risk and everything like that. But it will be at the stadium. That's a guarantee. And I'm sure it's going to be easy to find. We'll have some tents set up. And, it will be there. I wish I can give you an exact location, but honestly, I don't know it.
Right. So just have people, at least right now, it could be outside the stadium or inside. Just not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
My money says it's probably going to be outside because really, there is such security risk right now. And, things change on a daily basis. And, they got to definitely execute a lot of caution.
And we encourage people to go to T2T.org. That's the website for Tunnel to Towers Foundation. It is T2T.org. And you can find out more. You can donate as well. Tom O'Connor, it was a pleasure to have you on with us. We're honored. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for allowing us to get the word out.
Tom O'Connor with Tunnel to Towers Foundation, a first responder on 9/11, retired lieutenant with the New York City Fire Department. And again, that is tomorrow. So if you have tickets for the ball game, great. And you should go out there and see that. When I was in Chicago with the Sox, they brought an I-beam, and I don't remember what tower it was from. I don't know if I have a photo of it or not. I feel like they may have told us we couldn't take a photo. But they brought it. It was on the field before the game, and it's just, when you see it, it's just a small piece of the building, of very big buildings, but it is, it's something. It's really hard to not have some kind of feeling when you're next to one.
Yes, and Ben Boyd with the St. Louis Cardinals just texted and said that steel beam will be on 8th Street by the team store.
So that is the part that is right across from Ballpark Village, right?
Yeah, on 8th Street by the team store, so outside. So I'm guessing that then you don't need a ticket to come down. Obviously, get yourself a ticket and go to the ball game, but if you don't have time to go to the ball game or whatever, I do want to go see that. I struggle with the scale of tragedy on that day, and the museum, the World Trade Center Museum. I don't know if you've been to Ground Zero in New York.
I have been to it before. They were still working on it. So
you weren't there when the fountains were there?
No.
Okay.
No, none of that was. They were still in the process of getting it ready.
Yeah, it's very heavy. Yeah.
Tom O'Connor again with the New York City Fire Department, and we'll be at the ballpark tomorrow. You should go by. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Most sellers put their home on the market and they just wait to see what happens. Well, I'm Kevin Wheeler, and I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And Gloria, is there a better way to sell?
There is. Instead of listing your home the traditional way and hoping for the right buyer, I can get you up to 8 competitive cash offers right from the start. That means you're not guessing what your home might sell for. You're looking at the real offers and choosing the one that works the best for you. It also helps you to set the right price and create stronger demand if you decide to go to market. It gives you control, leverage, and a clear path forward before you accept just any offer. And remember, I'll guarantee to sell your home at 100% of the market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Before you sell your home, see what your options are. Call the one that I trust. That's Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Summer is officially here, and that means the family internet, it is working overtime. All our lives are always online, and that's why I rely on i3 Broadband. Traditional cable just can't keep up, but i3 delivers 100% true fiber directly into my home for ultra-smooth, reliable performance. Plus, they're a local provider that actually treats you like a neighbor. Skip the fake fiber. Head over to i3broadband.com/radio today or call 866-806-5485 to upgrade, because life runs better on fiber, and i3 Broadband is here for you.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for Your Retirement Highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. We got Jake Zimmerman coming up, St. Louis County Assessor. He is the Democratic nominee to become the next county executive in St. Louis. He defeated Brian Williams, who was his main challenger. And for a while, we thought that Brian might actually win, but that did not happen. So Zimmerman is going to advance to the next round. It's like a tournament.
It is. He does advance.
The next round is the final.
That's
in
right.
November.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the big dance. And also, when we were talking about corn, the texts continue to come in. And I said the corn that is like orange and red and black and it's decorative, it is Indian corn, flint corn, or calico corn. It's all the same.
Ah, okay.
I think I grew up with the name and it was called Indian corn.
See, I don't know anything about it, but I know that we can go to the corn festival this weekend and we can learn all about it.
I like calico corn. It's
But
the alliteration.
Here's the thing I have. Are all of the food options there just going to be corn? There's got to be other stuff to eat.
Maybe.
Because how much corn can you have in one sitting?
I think you can have a lot.
Yeah, but do you want to?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
I
do.
like street corn. Like Mexican street corn?
Yeah, of course. But if your entire diet for one day is corn, wouldn't that be bad?
Well, you're not going to digest all of it, I can tell you that.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
If you ate nothing but corn and beets, you would know it.
Okay, did I ever tell you about the time I had beets? Because I hated that when I was a kid. I just, the look of them, I just never wanted anything to do with it.
But yeah.
So one time, probably, I don't know, 15 years ago, for the first time I got some, it was a beet juice thing. It was beets and then something else. I don't know what else was in it. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And I don't remember if I liked it or not, but I remember having it. And then the next day, you have your movement. And I was like,
your daily constitutional.
I was like, oh my God, do I need to call the doctor?
I know.
Because it is bright red.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, and
it's
I thought,
scary.
I didn't know it was going to be all like that.
Yeah.
Nobody told me that part. So I was scared.
Yeah.
And then I had to look it up. Is that normal? And turns out it is.
It's totally normal. Yeah,
I was terrified.
I'm laughing because I had a student one time, and he was like, Miss Amy. That was my name when I was a tutor, Miss Amy. Miss Amy, I thought I was dying yesterday. He goes, I forgot that we had beets the night before for dinner. And he goes, I thought I was dying. I came downstairs and was like about to cry to my dad that I was dying, but no, it was beets.
My hope is there's somebody out there who didn't know about that.
And we just gave
and they
them
just
peace
had
of
beets
mind.
for the first time,
Yeah.
and they happen to be listening, and they go, "Oh, thank God!"
Yeah.
Oh, whew. I really thought I needed to go to the emergency room.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I was like, I feel fine. Why do I?
Wow.
What is that? What?
You're in the stall and you just hear someone go, "Whoa."
If that's what happens when you eat that,
Yeah.
not that an indication that you shouldn't eat it? Like if you're supposed
it doesn't
to
really
eat
happen
it,
with anything else. You can have a blue slushy. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, like
right?
Well, I don't know about
It doesn't. I know
that.
because I just had a blue snow cone.
Okay.
It doesn't happen.
Well,
let's ask Jake Zimmerman.
You think when he's you think he would have the answer to this?
He is the assessor. Maybe he assesses everything.
Oh, gosh.
What exactly do you assess?
Property.
All right, that's what I'm going to ask him.
The
Chris
situation.
and Amy.
I think you assess property and the situation. Those are the two things that you assess.
Well, we'll see what he assesses. Like, what exactly is an assessor?
Can you assess the situation?
We will talk to Jake Zimmerman, who is on the ballot for the Democrats, St. Louis County Executive, in the election coming up in a few months. He is next on KMOX. But, you know, this station is a FanDuel station, and baseball fans, and if you're listening, clearly you're a baseball fan because, well, we're the home of the Cardinals here. The MLB season has been happening, and we're getting to the really good part of the season. And FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. It's easy to join the action. Just make your free pick on who you think will hit a home run in their game tonight. And if you're right, you're going to get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It is just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. And again, Cardinals tonight will be at home at Busch Stadium against the Rockies. Somebody you like there tonight? Maybe Ivan Herrera, if he's in the lineup, which he probably will be. So if you're ready to play your game, make your pick tonight. FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Opt in for Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball, swing for the fences with FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's not really a sports show. It's just a show.
So I don't really have a sports show, but I love the Cardinals. I am born and bred St. Louis, went to my first game like so many of you, 4 years old. Couldn't believe how green it was standing there next to the players with my dad, and now I go with my kids. You get it. So when you listen to the DGS, it's going to be a slice of life happy hour, but we're always going to talk Cardinals.
The Dave Glover Show at 1. Then stick around for Cardinals baseball.
You've pictured it, the garage door that finally makes your home look the way you want it to. And now get $500 back on a qualifying garage door with the Overhead Door Home Refresh Rebate. Qualifying purchase must be made by September 13th. Let Overhead Door Company of St. Louis upgrade your curb appeal and get you up to $500 back. Schedule a free estimate at overheaddoorstlouis.com. Select models. Rebate paid as a Visa prepaid gift card. Restrictions apply. See website for full terms.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
86 degrees, real feel temperature 104. Humid with intervals of sunshine, maybe a thunderstorm in the area this afternoon, a high of 90. Tonight, cloudy and humid, a low of 70.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door Summer Tune-Up. Plus, score a free repair or replacement quote and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris and Amy Show on KMOX, and it is time to go back to the Quiver River Electric Guest Line. As we mentioned, the primaries in Missouri are over. We know who the candidates will be for both Democrats and Republicans on all of these races coming up in a few months. One of them is Democrat Jake Zimmerman, who is currently the county assessor, but is running for St. Louis County Executive to replace Sam Page, just defeated Brian Williams this week. And Jake is with us. The county assessor Zimmerman is with us on KMOX. How is it going, sir?
I mean, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep this week, but we're doing all right.
All right. Well, I mean, it's, you know what they say, you sleep when you're dead or when the election's over. So
nobody plays any violins for me. I'm the guy who signed up for this, you know, and now if I run around complaining, would you have any sympathy for me? I bet you wouldn't.
I don't have sympathy for you in any way.
To be fair, Ranj doesn't have sympathy for anybody.
Very few people.
It
takes a lot for me to feel sorry for you.
Yeah, it really does. And as you noted, it was a decisive victory in the Democratic primary, but still that advances you to the next round. in November. So what will you do now preparing for that race?
Yeah, obviously it feels nice to win in a landslide, but take nothing for granted. And November is a whole new ball of wax. And look, I think I've had a pretty consistent message all year, which is that we need to end the drama, take the temperature down, get county elected officials working together again, and try and do the taxpayers' business. And I don't plan to stop talking about that for the next 3 months.
You know, can I ask you about your campaign slogan? I don't know if it's your slogan, but you leaned into reassuringly nerdy.
I am what I am, as Popeye said.
How did you decide to go with that? Like, what were the other options? But were you afraid that, well, this might backfire, or no, I'm going to lean into it?
You know, in one way or another, it's not the first time that in a campaign I've told the people of St. Louis County that I might be a little bit of a dork. But, you know, here's what I think. I think that people can smell a phony. They can smell a fake from a mile away. And you can pretend to be someone that you're not. But all else being equal, I think I'd rather hang a lantern around who I am. Like, anybody who knows me knows that this is the real deal. And I really am a geek, and I really would rather play a board game than fill in the blank, right? So, you know, I can try and put a mask on and make you believe that I'm some silver-tongued devil, or I can just be the guy who I am and hang a lantern around it and hope that folks will appreciate what we're trying to offer here.
And just to talk a little bit more about the campaign before we move on to current issues and what is facing the county, you know, we've been made aware of flyers that went out to people over the last couple of months about your opponent, Brian Williams, and the flyers say, "Don't be fooled by Brian Williams, funded by MAGA, putting women's rights at risk." So, I don't know, it seems like, unless you've got something concrete, that seems like quite a reach, isn't it?
Well, look, Brian and I had some real differences of opinion, and I would not have voted for a constitutional convention that put abortion rights at risk in the same way that he did. But, you know, we had that conversation, and the voters have spoken. And the last thing that I want to do right now is beat up on Brian or anybody else. You know, he ran a good and an honorable campaign. And while we have our differences of opinion, we're both Democrats, and we both believe in advancing a same set of common values. But also, as we head towards November, I'd like to think that there's stuff at stake here that's much more important than Democrat versus Republican, right? There's not a Democratic or a Republican way to fill a pothole or make sure that there's cops on the street or balance the budget.
Of course, but is there evidence that he was funded by MAGA groups?
Well, of course, there were, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars of money from big Republican mega donors who went to his campaign. And so it was fair game to talk about that. But that was last week, and the election is over. And, you know, I'm not especially interested in relitigating that stuff. And I wish Brian nothing but the best. I'll say again what I said before. He ran a good and clean and honorable campaign, and I respect him for that.
He did obviously concede, and then he endorsed you in the end. So, yeah, that should be noted.
Jake, you know, we talked a lot about the budget with you before when you joined the show. And I want to ask you more about your plans for the budget issues here in St. Louis County. But one thing that current St. Louis County Executive Sam Page addressed was the failure of Prop U, the use tax, which estimates those online sales taxes could have brought $70 million to a county that is in a budget deficit. What were your thoughts on Prop U? Is that something that you think would have been good for St. Louis County?
Well, I wasn't particularly surprised by that result from what I heard in the community before the election. And I think the voters spoke loud and clear, though I do also think that there hasn't been much public education about what a use tax really is. You know, the argument for it would be that if you don't have it, you're discriminating against your local brick and mortar merchants. Because right now what we do is we put a sales tax on you if you buy a couch from the furniture store down the street. But if you buy the same thing from Wayfair.com, you don't pay that tax. And that's a little bit wacky. And really, when you think about it, you're punishing mom and pop stores and you're punishing small businesses here in town. So, in the long term, I think it would be nice if the voters would fix that. But in the short term, the voters spoke pretty loud and clear last Tuesday. And look, at the end of the day, the money coming in the door has to match the money going out the door. If the voters want to send St. Louis County more money, then that makes things a little easier. And if they say, county politicians, we don't trust you with more money right now, well, who could blame them? But if that's the case, then elected officials, including me, if I get there, going to have some very difficult choices to make. And you got to distinguish between what you want and what you need. And that's never an easy conversation, but it's time we do it honestly and stop kicking the can down the road.
County executive candidate Jake Zimmerman with us. Is that the kind of thing that when you're in office, you would like to revisit and maybe do a more robust campaign so that people know and understand what it is?
I mean, I'm open to that conversation. I think a lot depends on what the council wants to do. The current county executive and the current council members don't have a very good working relationship with each other. There's not a lot of trust there. And it's really important to me to repair that and rebuild that. So I want to be careful not to get out in front of those folks. What they think has a lot of bearing on this, because at the end of the day, you want to ask the voters to do something, you really need to have people across the board and people from all political parties talking in unison about what they want. And if you don't have that, I think it's a lot harder to persuade the voters to agree to anything at all.
Yeah, I think anybody who lives in the county would like to see the council get along better. What do you think you specifically can do to help make that relationship better? Is it just by virtue of having a new county executive that will happen, or is there something specific you think you can do?
I think that having a new person in there gives you the opportunity, right? That creates the conditions to push the reset button, but everybody in good faith has to be willing to push that button together. And so another way of saying that is, if I win this thing, there's still plenty of opportunity to screw it up. I think I'd only have to be a jerk once or twice, and we'd be right back in the place where we used to be. So, Chris, I think rule number one here is try really hard not to be a jerk. And rule number two is to remember the old adage that God gave you two ears and one mouth for a reason. And, look at me. I've been in politics a long time. I like to talk as much as the next guy, but knowing when to shut up is probably going to be a big part of this job.
And it's a pretty critical time for St. Louis County because we were talking about the budget deficit in St. Louis County, the failure of Prop U to pass, but also, as Sam Page mentioned, that NFL settlement money is going to run out. And so when it comes to the budget, what will be cut, what can be saved, where the county will get more revenue, I mean, these are big decisions coming up.
That's right. And there's no more one-time money to bail the county out. The county for a decade plus has really been relying on pennies that magically fell from the heavens. You saw that with aid to the states and localities under the Obama administration. You saw it with infrastructure funds. You saw it with COVID funds. You saw it with litigation settlements. This is the end of the line. At some point, you're just burning the furniture to keep warm, and we can't do that anymore.
We are talking with Jake Zimmerman here on KMOX, and the Sam Page is on the way out. But it was just a few weeks ago that he mentioned something again about the county and the city, maybe joining forces in some capacity or another. And we know that coming up in a couple of weeks is the 150th anniversary of the vote on the Great Divorce, which separated the two. So that is a milestone in the city's history and has effects today. And there apparently is some sort of simmering effort right now to at least have discussions about what the joining of the county and the city would look like. The former Mayor Schamel is a part of that, the Regional Business Council. What are your thoughts on that? I know that there are some more pressing, immediate matters that need to be attended to, but what about that? Because it is a much larger idea.
Yeah, look, the devil's in the details, and I'll be very interested to hear what some of those proposals look like. One thing that I think is really encouraging is that they're involving the folks from the Municipal League, which represents all the mayors and the cities within St. Louis County, rather than sort of shutting them out in the cold. I remember back to the failure of Better Together, and it failed for a good reason. And the good reason wasn't just that, Steve Stenger was a criminal and trying to make a criminal the grand poobah of the region was a terrible idea. But the real reason it failed was a lack of consultation with local leaders and citizens across the county and people with skin in the game. Because at the end of the rainbow, you want to do anything on regionalism, you're going to need to get a vote of the people of St. Louis County to approve it. And if you're talking about something with the city of St. Louis, you're going to need a vote of the people of the city of St. Louis as well. And so, I've spent some time in these last couple of days talking to regional leaders across all the boundaries. I had a very nice conversation with County Executive Steve Ellman from St. Charles County. And my commitment to him and to anyone who asks me will be that I'll work in good faith with anybody in the region to help advance the broader interest of St. Louis. What that means specifically in terms of working with the city or anybody else, it's got to be a good deal for the taxpayers of St. Louis County. It's got to be something where if you're asking me to sell a product, you want me to go out and collect signatures for a regionalism proposal, I need to be able to tell the people I represent that it's good for their parks and good for their potholes.
Jake Zimmerman, we appreciate your time. And as we say goodbye here, Amy is very interested in the Space Museum and Grissom Center that's in Bonne Terre, Missouri.
Who's the nerd here, Chris?
Yeah, well,
if you
it's
want to know,
both of you, actually.
I am the dork. I am the nerd. Yeah.
So this Space Museum potentially moving to St. Charles, would you try to intercede and bring it to the county instead?
Start a little border war here with St. Charles to get the Space Museum.
Like with the Chiefs in Kansas City,
yes.
but for nerds instead of football fans?
Yeah.
Yes, the Space Museum.
What do you think?
I'm all in favor of the Space Museum, but didn't I just say nice things about working together as a region? If we get a Space Museum in St. Charles County, isn't that good for the whole community? If we can't hold hands and unite forces to support the Space Museum, no matter what side of the line it's on, then I don't know what hope we have for anything else.
Hey, politics is a bloodbath, man. You got to get yours.
I'm taking that as a yes.
You got to get what you got to get.
We're bringing the Space Museum to St. Louis County.
Jake Zimmerman, we appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you guys so much. Onward to the Space Museum.
St. Louis County Assessor Jake Zimmerman and candidate for the Democrats for St. Louis County Executive. Again, that election happening in November. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX Gas House Gang today at 12.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
I've noticed over the last 15 years, no, let's just say 10 years, how astronomical the prices to heat and cooler homes are for the equipment. Because there was a time when you would call me and it was affordable. If you have a house and you want air conditioning and you just want it to cool your house and you want to heat your house, I have a system that I made a special buy on that will do just that and save you money. Common sense will tell you if you just replace your old, and I'm talking 15, 20, 25, 30, 35-year-old system with a new system, you're going to save big dollars. If you're interested in that, call me. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Again, it's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600. God bless.
Looking for something new? Lombardo Homes is excited to introduce 2 brand new opportunities in St. Charles County. Discover Crooked Creek at Cottleville Trails, featuring stylish new townhomes from the high 300s and access to incredible amenities that make Cottleville Trails one of the area's most sought-after communities. Or find the space you've been dreaming of at South Point Estates, where expansive 3+ acre home sites and top-rated Wentzville schools create the perfect setting for your custom dream home. Visit LombardoHomes.com to learn more about these exciting new communities.
Hey, this is Lauren, and a little thing I love about the Hash Brown Scramble Burrito is that it's gonna add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken in a breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going a swing.
Ready to elevate your game? Join the NBA Sportscasters Forum on Tuesday, September 15th in St. Louis. Learn from Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and Hall of Famer John Rooney as they break down play-by-play, reporting, interviewing, and covering the game. Then cap off the day with the Cardinals versus Giants at Busch Stadium. Step into the booth, sharpen your skills. Go to KMOX.com/events for details and registration.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Nope, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been hurt because of someone else's negligence, don't try to figure it out alone. Call the team at Cantor Injury Law. They've helped thousands of people across Missouri get the justice they deserve. 314-628-9999 or CantorInjuryLaw.com. Injured, you can count on Cantor.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertisements.
Today,
the Cards, the Rockies.
Ameren Total Access 620. First pitch 7:15.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM KMOX. Now, a look back at this week's Chris and Amy show. Out of context.
Because his hair would go kind of limp.
He was attentive to the kid, but like, hey, let him hurt himself. And if he does, then that's okay. And he learns not to do it again.
Your underpants and your meat are rolling around.
And I was thinking to myself, please don't do it. Please don't. Please. And they did it.
I do use beef tallow on my skin.
Oh, where the hell are you going?
Kansas City, I'm marrying my nephew. I mean, I'm not marrying him.
Is that legal there?
Dispatched its bowels over the Millennium Hotel.
I know what all of those are. This would be one that I would be 100% on today. So every week on Friday at this time, we do the week out of context. So tell us, Matt. Let's play.
All right, I'm going to play these clips for you. You got to give me the context from the past week. Amy, we'll start with you. Give some context to this.
Because his hair would go kind of limp. Rod Stewart, buddy. They would bring him beneath the stage, puff up his hair, spray it. He'd sing a few songs, drop him beneath the stage, and respray his hair.
Correct. Nice. Yep. I knew that one.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get all of these right.
Okay. Rons, then you're next. Prove it.
He was attentive to the kid, but like, hey, let him hurt himself. And if he does, then that's okay. And he learns not to do it again. So that's my buddy who has a baby. Mm-hmm. And the baby is like, 8 months, I think. Ugh. And I saw it for the first time. I didn't meet it because you can't meet a baby. And he was just letting the kid kind of do whatever. And he was getting close to corners of tables. And he was like, hey, he needs to learn. Got to learn to be good.
School of Hard Knocks.
Can't helicopter this kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Amy.
Your underpants and your meat are... Okay, that sounds worse than it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But Ron went to Costco, and he bought underpants, and he bought food, presumably meat, and he didn't have a box. They were out of boxes at Costco, so he just raw dogged his groceries in his car.
That's right. That's
correct.
right. I did.
He's
I
just-
put one by one each item into the back of my car. I'm like, oh, nobody told me about
He's
this.
driving home in his underpants.
I didn't know
and
about
his
Costco. I didn't know about the
meat are
process.
Just rolling around in the trunk.
Also, wearing the Kirkland underwear today.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they feel good.
Okay. I'm so glad to know that. Ron's
You
your
want to
next-
see them?
Nope. No, I don't.
I'll show you in a minute.
Okay. Give some context to this.
And I was thinking to myself, please don't do it. Please don't. Please. And they did it. Yeah, the idiots at the City SC game singing Home of the Blues during the national
You know what?
anthem.
I would not have-
I hate it so much. I know some people are like, let people do what they want. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but it's dumb to sing Home of the Blues at a game that's not a blues game. It's stupid.
I would have forgotten that. I wouldn't have gotten that one. 2, I changed my mind. I think you should say Home of the Blues. I like it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then
Last-
you're one of the stupid.
Last one for Amy, or last one for the show, Amy.
Dispatched its bowels over the Millennium Hotel. Well, that's how we got Millie the weed.
Yes,
a
it is.
bird. Ate some seeds, dispatched its bowels, boom, you get Millie.
I saw Millie the other day. She's looking good. I think
Oh.
she's sprouting new stuff. She loves her new
Really?
home in the ground.
Good.
That's awesome.
All right. Thanks for listening to the show this week. We had a really good time with you and hope that you will come back next week on Monday, 9 o'clock. We'll do it all over again. Odyssey app, KMOX.com, iHeart app, wherever you get your podcasts. The whole show and all the segments available there. Gas House Gang is next. Mike Claiborne, Kevin Wheeler, and me, Danny Wexelman, will join us as well, talking Cardinals baseball next.
Time now for today's Spotlight.